Just a bloke in a bar.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of Bloke in a Bar. We need to get some announcements out of the way. Boys, I will be appearing Caxton Street this Saturday between 2 and 4 p.m. It'll be me and Jarrell Yaya. Now, I'm not sure when I'll be back up to Queensland, so if you're in the area, come down. We're actually giving away Bloke hats that you can't purchase yet. So just to say thank you. Thank you for all the support over the last few years. So Caxton Hotel between 2 and 4 p.m. on Saturday. So come down. It's going to be a great time. What are you boys doing on Saturday?
Buggered if I know.
Buggered if I know. I mean, this far ahead. Actually, look, not that anyone really cares. I'm going to be at my brother-in-law's for a nice lunch.
Yeah.
We're still trying to convince him to come to our place because we've got a child and it's going to be a bit of a trek. And then that night I'm going out to dinner with some friends.
Do you feel like because you're a famous podcaster now, you're throwing your weight around a bit with bringing your mate to your house rather than...
It's not a mate. It's
not a mate. Wow.
Well, it's my brother-in-law, so he's a friend, but he's like family. You know what I mean?
But he's not a mate.
Well, no, he's a mate.
Oh, okay. I thought you just said he was a mate.
Shout out to Robert Matijesevic. But no, a very good friend. He's also... He'd probably be able to kick my ass. So, like, I mean, let's not make this, like, you know, anything. I'm not disrespectful.
You couldn't throw your weight around against him?
Well, I'm heavy.
Well, you tried to fight a guy a few weeks ago at the UFC.
I'm heavy, not strong. You know what I mean? Like,
so he could beat you in a fight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is he Eastern European?
Yes. He's Croatian. Dude, Croatians are an intimidating people. Look, this isn't the point. We're here for rugby league. But, Eddie, before we get on to anything further, I think it's also worth noting it is Denon's birthday today. 38 years young.
That's right.
38.
Looking okay.
Looking all right. Like, not looking...
I'll take okay.
He's not
I'll
looking
take it.
30.
Like, I mean,
he's not looking 34.
Does he look 38? Probably not. Is he looking his 40s? Sure.
Yeah.
Well, but that's not the point. But we got you saying.
You look good for a 40-year-old.
we
and
did
we've
get
got
you saying.
Okay. I've gone from 38 to 40-year-old in the span of a sentence.
You look like a healthy 40-year-old, but you are 38.
I'm actually 34.
We would.
Oh, fuck, here we go.
On behalf of us.
Oh, wow. That is beautiful.
Obviously,
This is one
it's
of our
touching.
great days in our life.
that's Tom, myself, and obviously the Trbojevic brothers.
Mate, it's beautiful.
They call us the 5th and 6th Trbojevic brothers.
Okay.
You'll see there, that's a rainbow.
That's Omen. That's Omen.
That's after we towelled up. Who'd we towel up in, man?
Look, I think it was the Titans, maybe. Who
Yeah,
gives a shit?
I think it was.
We won.
Mate, I'm absolutely
and it's
honoured.
signed, so that'll value.
We signed that. So
Oh, you signed it. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
not an NRL player's
No,
signature.
well, they didn't want to. They're off you. They're off you about the whole boy
They've
band
heard what you've
syndrome
been
thing.
saying.
Oh, they've heard the boy
Yeah.
band.
They're like, fuck that
Yeah.
guy. We're like, dude, come
Jake
on. He's
said you're a fucking dog and he doesn't like anymore. And Tom said, how dare you accuse him of boy band syndrome.
Yeah. So, look, if you can't see it there, but mate,
I
that's
feel
for
like
you.
that only proves my point that Jake Trbojevic is on the level of Hargreaves when it comes to grubbiness.
Well, listen, he's heard what you
even
said.
the nicest guy in rugby league,
He has
can
his
only
limits.
handle
He'll
it so
fuck you
long.
up if he
Is that
sees you in
nice?
public. That's
It's,
beautiful.
you know what?
nice.
It's a nice. Does it have a backstand or not?
Probably not. We didn't.
No, we got a hook. We wanted it. We thought it'd be
Yeah,
looking,
we thought we'd. You
Yeah.
know, yeah, look, that'll do for now. Obviously, we want it to probably take over the Blokes on at some point, but
Because it's my birthday, I'm feeling good. At 34 years old, ripe, fresh, ready to go. Could play
Viral
footy.
still got
That's
it.
high gloss paper as well, mate. So
Okay.
we didn't skimp on you.
No, that thing will last.
It's touching. I'm not going to lie. It's touching. I feel like if your team...
A3.
I appreciate it. Yes, it is my birthday, 34 years young. It's been a great day, boys. I went and saw my dad in Queensland. He got an Order of Australia.
Congratulations to Public Camp.
It's crazy because he's, as I said to you before, his dad got an Order of Australia too for helping people. That's a lot of pressure.
That is a lot of pressure, dude.
I literally said to the governor that gives it to him, I was like, I'm under pressure here. And he was like, kind of looked at me like, mate, fuck, you've kind of been forced into the role of having to serve other people now.
Yeah, what the fuck are you going to do?
Not much, to be honest.
Order of Australia to servicing.
You know what's funny is like, I was like, Dad, it's like, oh, you go on the paddle? Like, he likes to paddle like fucking Ks. Joking. He's like, nah, weights, mate. Did weights this morning. He's 73. And I was like, oh, yeah, weights what time? He's like, yeah, 4:45.
4:45.
Yeah, whatever. Loves it.
So the guy's an operator.
Loves it. He's an operator.
Makes sense. Denon, obviously a disappointment. One day, mate. One day.
One day,
Order of
maybe.
Australia. Listen, if we ever get to the position where we can hand them out, you're at the first guy on our list.
Really?
And I'll tell you what,
Before then,
that can only help your chances.
so if Tommy and I in line, you're going to give me the medal first.
No.
No.
Oh my
you'd
God.
be like
I immediately go back.
15th on our list, probably.
But aside, I'd still beat some of the Manly squad.
No.
So I'll move back to at least 35 or
You're
so.
probably 35th.
When I said 15th, I was trying to just be nice.
Yeah, we didn't think you were going to probe any further. We thought you just
It's
sort of
actually,
go, oh, that's nice.
it's actually probably got
probably
a
got-
1 and a 0 and a 0 in front of it.
But look, at least I'm on the list.
No.
Well, you're not even
Actually, you're not even on the
You're
list.
not even on the list.
Fucking hell.
Certainly on the list I've done.
Look, I feel bad because I'm laughing. It's joyous, and yet Kyle Flanagan recently, mate, watching that interview with Kyle Flanagan,
was tough.
Brought to tears.
Yeah.
When they asked him, basically, has your father been supportive? Mate, that was tough to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can you imagine the pressure that he's under right now?
Yeah. For all the shit we talk week to week, when you're like having a bit of a laugh, we rip on players and stuff. There is an element of that that's like, run of the mill. You get what you're like as a player. I think like that's part of the whole circus.
Yeah.
But then when you do see that, you are reminded like, fuck, the pressure is crazy. And dare I say, even more so when you're playing at like the bottom club, like you're the big signing at the shittest club, and you're getting dropped. Like that's a heavy fucking thing to have to deal with.
100%. The crazy thing is like, I kind of feel like, is he really the person you should be putting in a conference when you've just dropped him?
No.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
No. I would have been like,
You know what,
I'm
dude,
not fucking doing
not for
it.
you, not you today.
Yeah.
You can take it off.
Like, surely send one of your players that's been playing well and then, like, just shield him a little bit, poor bloke.
That's a great point, Denon. Why the fuck was he put up for that? That is torture.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's
bro, we're going to
surprising.
drop you, and now can you go talk to 15 Danny Widlers?
no, look, we need you to.
We need you
The
to
club
do it.
needs you to. Okay. Well, I sort of feel like I'm a bit of a scapegoat. No.
I've had a tough day.
No. You've misread it completely.
No.
Get out there and fucking answer questions about why you've been dropped.
I feel it's kind of unnecessary as I'm not playing this weekend
not
for
actually even
first
playing
grade.
the
Doesn't
game.
matter.
The teams haven't been announced yet. Anything could happen. Get out there. Don't cry.
Mate, tough though. Really tough.
Yeah.
It's been a tough year and a half for Kyle.
Absolutely. I mean, to think the way he got kicked out of the Roosters and then to come to the new club and it just to get put in the spotlight after you've just been dropped, it almost feels like maybe Barrett's trying to teach him a lesson, like of toughen him up a bit. I don't know. I don't know.
To that, could you say that like Trent Robinson doesn't fuck anyone off for no reason, right? Like if I'm just playing devil's advocate, tough day for Kyle, I'm not trying to pile on. But if Trent's getting rid of you, there's potentially something going on. And then Barrett's dropping you and putting you through literal hell on TV. I heard, and not that I know anything or know anyone that knows anything, but I heard back when he was at the Roosters that there was a bit of a yarn around his attitude a little bit.
Yeah.
Could it be that it's like, you've got talent, like clearly you got talent. No one, the Roosters don't sign dead shits, but like maybe you do need to sort of like, this is maybe to help you become a better person, player, whatever.
I mean, my interactions with Kyle, he's always been fantastic. It's the tough thing with halves, and you usually find it with halves, is that you need them to have an ego. But when you're young, I'm not saying he has an ego, but that can sometimes be the rub. Like you look at a guy like Hastings, when he came through, you want him to be the big dog, but at the same time, you've already got big dogs at the club. So sometimes it takes time for them to adjust to what they need to be. I'm not sure. All of it's just rumour and speculation, really. And at the end of the day, like the dogs signed him, they knew who he was. I don't think he's the problem, to be honest, at the doggies. So, yeah, tough gig for Kyle. I think that I think it's their forwards at the moment that, I mean, and their backs. I mean, the whole team, really. Yeah. They're the issue. I think it's like more systems and culture and having a play style and sticking to it that is the issue.
Obviously, they're lacking on cattle, but from what you've seen for the start of the season at the Dogs and then the couple of seasons he had at Manly, do you like the coaching style that Trent has? Like,
well, the jury's out. Like, the jury is out whether he can coach, because it's like Kevy too. It's not just me saying Trent. Like, it's Kevy Walters too. Can Kevy Walters be an NRL club coach? We don't have evidence
To suggest that he can.
but we don't know whether he can't either. You know what I
Got
mean?
a little bit more evidence to suggest that he can't.
you got more
I
to
don't
say
think so.
you can't than you can.
No, I disagree.
With Trent?
No, I'm talking about Kevy.
I was talking about Kevy.
Okay.
I'm talking about Kevy. I actually think that you could argue he evidence that he can, because Broncos are a better side than last year.
You reckon?
Absolutely.
Mate, at the back end of last year,
Yeah, you weren't fantastic.
they were a fucking mess.
Like, we got beaten 58-0.
And that was like, you actually had like 2 games within the space of a month.
Yeah,
Like your 2 big losses.
We are a much better side than last year. But
okay.
anyway, back to Trent. No, I agree, and I think it's also the knock on Penrith the whole time when they won when they went to the grand final was it's Trent Barrett that's got the best set of Cleary, and clearly, like obviously Trent Barrett contributed to Cleary, no doubt about that. But I think that now we can safely say no, actually it's the system at Penrith that is so. Look, I'm not sure when they did sign Barrett, my concern was he went from a Manly club that was struggling for resources because you're broken and we're going to kick you out of the comp soon, and went to Penrith.
Mate, can I just say something?
Yeah, you can.
Training with nothing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Doing your fucking sessions in demandables is how you win comps.
Exactly. Fucking.
You know what I mean?
Fold
That
really.
itsy ditzy shit gets you nowhere.
It gets you nowhere. You're training.
Look where it's got you.
No aircon.
Penrith have the
You've
best.
got more money than anyone.
Penrith
and
have the
you're
best
worst
facilities.
in the comp.
Penrith have the best facilities.
They haven't won a comp.
but they're doing better than Manly.
Questionable.
Questionable. I'm pretty sure we explained to you pretty articulately how we won that game a couple of weeks ago.
Apologies, my bad.
So from
You
where
know-
I'm sitting, look, again, I don't need to defend myself. We've won more comps than anyone, basically, and we've never won a spoon. And with nothing, no
Yeah,
reasons.
no, Des has to bring in fucking gear.
He brings
for the
his
boys.
own chairs.
It's true. I mean, look, it is what it is. Back to the point, though.
Sorry, great.
Like, he left the Manly because he was struggling with resources. You know what I mean? Goes to Penrith. Bulldogs, they're also a club that's struggling. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so you kind of, you could say that maybe it wasn't the resources at Manly. You know, like I know Desi's got them back on track now, but Desi probably needs to have a good solid year this year to say that the resources wasn't the issue. But I think with Barrett, the jury is still out. I think that if he is a head coach or not. Not to say that he can't be one. But you even look at Dean Pay, like I think the Bulldogs are probably, I mean, it's hard to say whether they're better or worse, but you couldn't really argue that they're way worse under Dean Pay. You know what I mean?
You wouldn't argue that. Like, that'd be
No.
unfair to
unfair to
fucking
Dean Pay.
to be trying to say
Yeah.
they're worse. They're actually just shit still.
I'll always come into bat for Dubbo Dean. He, like, that poor bastard, his tenure at the Bulldogs, rather, like, what,
You didn't-
10, 15 years off his life?
You
Yep.
didn't see Dubbo Dean smile once in like
Dubbo
fucking 3
Dean
years.
was melting in front of our eyes, and
Yeah.
no one seemed to care.
No one seemed. Was
Fucking
there a
heartless.
welfare check on Dubbo Dean?
There
Get
should
him
have
a
been.
bloody, an NRL issued sort of psychiatrist. Get your head read, sort of
Not
stuff.
that I'm aware
Look,
of.
what I can say is both coaches look like they didn't sleep for very large amounts of time.
Correct. Dubbo Dean was 22. Just so you know, when he's 22 years old, youngest coach ever.
Dubbo
He
Dean
looks-
was born this millennium.
Mate, there may be a sleep issue. That's maybe the issue because it looks like Barrett's not sleeping.
No.
I mean, Dean, honestly, whenever shot to the coaching box, his eyes were just like,
completely fucked, and he had this.
He
Frown.
could barely keep him open. He was
was
almost
fucked.
asleep in there.
Yeah, sleepy Dubbo Dean.
I think the positive for the Bulldogs is though that they have the Laundry Group, which is they own heaps of pubs.
One in Dubbo. I think they own the South Dubbo Tavern.
Really? Do they kick you out at any time?
No, I've been kicked out, but just thought I'd throw that out there.
Yeah, can't be kicked out yet.
It's relevant. It is relevant.
It is.
But like any big rebuild, you always need a big dog, backer. That's why
Yeah.
Politis is so good. Broncos, they have the finances or whatever. Even Manly to an extent, they've got the Penn brothers, correct? And so I think that's going to help them. But yeah, man, I honestly don't know what the answer is for the Bulldogs. I think they need to find an identity as a club going forward, identity as a club like playing the way they play. Because when you watch the Storm, you can get the kind of style they play, and then you watch Penrith Panthers, you get and even Manly with Tommy back. So I'm not sure.
I think I know what it is.
Okay.
I think they need to sign as many outside backs as possible.
They don't have enough.
Okay. And fucking wing it. See what happens.
I heard they were going after Xavier Coates as well. They just missed out on him. Jason Saab was in their sights, but he's looking to re-sign at Manly. Not enough. Not enough outside backs.
I mean, he did have that vision he had the other week of the 17 backs winning a comp. It doesn't seem to be working, but crazier things have happened.
crazy things have happened. Leicester City won the Premier League. Like these things happen. A team full of outside backs could technically win the comp.
They could.
I'm backing it. You know what? Could be a masterstroke.
Outside backs are getting pretty big now.
Who do you think
Fucking
about
hope not.
Moses Sully?
Huge.
He's massive, dude.
He is a big dude. Xavier Coates is a big boy.
Xavier Coates is big. Mike Acevo.
Huge. Saab, enormous.
Honestly, though,
Tommy Turbo, huge.
he is fucking big everywhere.
Lot coming out about that as well. I know that we broke the news that he's got one of the great hogs in world sport, but now it's like people are starting to be like, oh yeah, it's also in the family. That's what.
Really?
That's what our sources are telling us.
People are starting to line up. You know what I mean?
Line up on it or
yeah,
to
no,
it?
no, it's like
For it.
But yeah, so I'm honestly
luck to
not
the
sure.
Dogs.
I think the Dogs, look, recruitment wise, you can't be signing an outside back for another 5-6 years. It's like,
oath you can't.
honestly.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
so you don't support my...
Yeah, the backs only thing.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, they need a fucking. I mean, Brandon Smith would be good. He's sort of.
Yeah, he would be a good buy, absolutely. It's tough though because you sit there and you go, okay, well, it's like the Broncos. Like when you're recruiting and you're struggling so much, and you've got a guy like Cheese who could get pretty much a good contract anywhere else. Would you go there? You know, you even look at Burton and even Addo Carr. You know, is it going to help their career going there? Maybe it could be the greatest recruitment ever. They could turn the whole club around, but it's very risky going to a club like that because you devalue if you struggle.
Is Burton signed?
Yeah, fully
he's
signed.
good.
Signed,
How many
sealed,
years did
delivered.
Addo Carr sign for?
I think a substantial, like 4 years or something.
Jesus
4
Christ.
years?
I think so.
That's
3 to 4
he
years.
must be getting a bag and a half.
Yeah, no, he's getting massive coin.
He's won some comps. He's won,
Yeah.
playing Origin, played for his country. He's
Yeah.
just gone, fuck it.
So he's not getting winger coin. He's getting...
I think he's getting. Well, initially they were talking about fullback and that,
Yeah.
which
Did he
is
play at fullback?
maybe today's game. You know what I mean? If he works on his passing, but I'm not sure. But he's getting a good contract, and he would have been on a relatively small. I think you'd be shocked at how small his contract would be at the Storm. I reckon 250 or something.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I reckon it'd be 250, 300. It's the only way to balance a cap. Like, how could you balance your cap if you've got guys on the wing that are 600k, 500k?
Yeah. And it's about winning comps, right? So
Yeah.
you value winning comps down there and then you fuck off. Would
Yeah.
Coates be on? He'd be on.
I reckon Coates' manager has gone, this is a career-defining move. Go there for 2 years, become an Origin, Australian winger maybe,
Yeah.
and then the next contract, you can go wherever you want, fucking however much you want.
You've heard people argue, though, recently that in the modern game, wingers are arguably more valuable than centres because they truck nut. You know what I mean? At
And
the start of
finish.
every set, and they finish. Do you read into that?
Oh, I agree. I think so. I think there's an argument for it. I don't think it's unreasonable. I'd even argue you could say they're similar to front rowers now. If you've got a winger that's not only catching balls, scoring tries, all that kind of stuff, but
Truck and nut.
250 metres a game, and you've got a forward that's doing 100 metres a game, and he's on 600k. Which is more valuable?
Yeah.
Like it's easily the winger. The wingers.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like,
so
look at Brian the king of the PCM.
oh my god.
You know what I mean? Like, if he's racking up more PCMs than anybody, post-contact meters, then, you could argue that if he's scoring fucking tries and taking high balls, that he should be on more than
I think
any
so.
other forward.
I agree.
Or any forward, rather.
I think it's a very fair. It's just about like also the market adjusting to it. You know what I mean?
The Roosters threw 800,000 at Latrell to be a centre.
Yeah, but he is once in a generation fucking game breaker.
But my point is, as a centre,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yep.
So then, when you hear that Fox is only on 253,
But
potentially,
I think they didn't throw it at a centre. They throw it at a match winner.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, he's more than just a centre.
yeah.
but
so
he would be playing centre.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he's
My
more than
point.
just a fucking centre, though, right? Like he's Latrell.
like they'd go, okay, it's like Tom Trbojevic. Let's say he was a winger, but he had the same percentage of win rate. You'd pay him $1 million because you're like, when he's in the side,
Yeah.
we bought that. We pay for the win.
I'm talking more in the sense of balancing a squad.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I
like
get
if
you.
you've got thoroughbreds everywhere,
yeah.
and you're fucking prepared to spend 800k on someone playing centre in the balance of a side.
Yeah. Well, I just think that
lot.
you'd look at you look at their guys like Orbison and like a lot of loyal guys that were like battlers in the middle that would be on low coin. But yeah, it is interesting, and I think the market will begin to shift to what you're saying. Like you're only going to get paid what someone's willing to pay. So like it's just going to take a few clubs to go, that is the value. Like we will pay 800k or whatever. For other clubs to go, well, fuck, now I have to pay 100k. So, yeah. So, now, other big news. The great Andrew Fifita is back for the Sharks.
Yes.
I mean, they need something, the Sharks, because it's tough right now for them.
He seemed to have Andrew being a fiery individual, he took being dropped for the whole fucking season quite well, it would seem.
Look, he has done silly things in the past, but he's been so put out as this just a negative persona around him. He's a fucking good bloke.
Yeah.
Like, he's not like, as I said, he's done some silly stuff, but he's a fucking great bloke. Like, he's not as crazy, and he's just like, because we're so used to players just letting Journo speak about him or whatever, but because he comes out and says, fuck that Journo.
Love it.
You know, which is fantastic.
It's fantastic.
I think
that.
then they just like, we'll run with this now.
The journo then goes, all right, well, I'm in control of the narrative here because
Exactly.
I've got the newspaper.
Exactly.
So I'll bag the fuck out of everything you do.
Exactly. So I think it's great for the Sharks he's back, but I do think it's just like very alarming for the Sharks. They've got 15 players off contract. There's basically like an unkept secret that they're looking to move everyone on, like, in the market. So it's just this recipe for disaster. Where
Shit show.
Yeah, where the whole team's like, fuck, what am I playing for?
And I mean,
they're
they've just
not playing for anything.
They've just fucked their whole season, right? We say it every time you come in, but then like, oh, fuck their whole season. Then you go, oh man, you just got absolutely rammed by the Panthers, and it's just like every week it seems to get worse. Again, I know we just spoke about like Kyle Flanagan and players under pressure and not wanting to talk shit, but like if I'm a Cowboys fan, which I'm not, I would be fucking pretty disappointed that Chad Townsend's come to the club next year. I'm sorry, Chad. I know you're a nice guy. Shout out to Chad Townsend. But
he's actually, I know his defence hasn't been the best the last few weeks, but his try-assist this year actually quite high.
They're not winning shit.
Yeah, that is
I'm
fair.
not saying it's all his fault,
Yeah.
but I'm like, okay, are the Cowboys going to win a comp with Chad Townsend?
I don't think that's the plan, though. I think Peyton is new, so Chad Townsend comes up. He mentors Dearden, and Dearden and Scott Drinkwater are their premiership window players.
So Chad not being signed to win comps.
I mean, if they can, that'd be
Chad
great. He has won a
signed to
comp.
impart knowledge.
Yeah, but he has won a comp.
I know he's
You
won a
could
comp.
argue.
I know he's won a comp.
so
Again,
like-
I apologise to Chad. I do.
He's won a comp more recently than your
I
mate.
have personally.
No, but Manly. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
he absolutely can do it. Like, absolutely. I think the plan, though,
Do you
is...
think he can do it at the Cowboys?
I think so. Absolutely. Yeah, look, absolutely he
Too
can.
nice.
I'm not being too nice. He's 2 weeks ago. He was nearly the leading try set for the the Sharks last year. Their squad was nowhere near where like the greatest squad ever.
Yeah.
They still made the 8. Like I absolutely believe that he has the ability to win a comp because he's already won a comp.
Sure. I just mean with the Cowboys specifically when he's going there. I just don't think that again, it's not all his fault.
Okay, tell me
Sharks
one
were
player
out.
that you could send there at half on the market right now that could win a comp with the Cowboys squad they have.
Tommy Turbo.
Okay.
No.
Half. Is he a half? No, he's
No,
not.
he's
half.
not. I mean,
On the market.
Yeah.
It's on the market. Maybe Adam Reynolds.
You reckon Reynolds could win a comp with that
I
Cowboys?
don't think their team can win a comp.
That's what I mean.
Which is that's to his point.
I'm
Saying
they're
that you can't
progressing
say that
towards
about Chad
it.
if
Their
their team's not going to win.
The
a comp.
progression is
Yeah.
we get Townsend on 600-700K a year, maybe 600K a year, and we get Drinkwater, who is a fucking young throbber. We get Dearden, who's a young good player. Like Townsend, when it comes to knowing the game, incredible, footy IQ. I think their plan is to bring him up and progress. You got to remember, these guys are at the bottom of the table. So if he can bring them up to 6th, 5th, and 4th, that's a massive win. I think, and no disrespect, but a lot of fans just go, win the comp or nothing, But you've got to build. You've got to build to it.
Certainly. I guess I still don't think Chad builds them anywhere. I just don't.
You don't think Chad Townsend's better than Jake
He
Clifford?
improves them. He absolutely improves them. But I mean, where are they now? Like, where are they sitting? In the fucking bottom 4?
Yeah.
I don't think he gets them to the top 8.
He got Sharks to the 8.
Yeah, but I'd say the Sharks are a better side than the Cowboys.
You reckon Sharks are a better outfit than the Cowboys?
Yeah, well, I think
That much better?
I think all their players playing at their best, I think, are better than the Cowboys side.
No, that's
man
interesting.
for man. But again, I don't know shit.
Hamiso, Kyle Felt, Valentine Holmes,
Yeah.
Scott Drinkwater, Jason Tamalolo. You think the Sharks squad on paper is better than the Cowboys squad?
Without having it in my head, I'd say, yeah, I reckon.
Wow. That's
Wade.
crazy.
Again, I just said Wade and then I stopped.
So they got
I've
Wade.
run out.
They
I've
got
gone
Wade. I'll
Graham,
say it.
And now I'm out. Wade Graham. Anyone else? Wade Graham, Josh Dugan, Matt Moylan, Sean
Moylan's
Johnson.
Dugan's getting either a contract reduction or moving on.
Yeah, but I'm just talking like a current like as they are, like squad for squad now.
So you think that right now, Dugan is better than Valentine Holmes?
I wouldn't say
No,
that.
I wouldn't say that. But I'm just saying I'm the collection of the squad. I wouldn't necessarily be going Dugan better
I
than
need some
Holmes.
names.
Well, I'd have to, if we can get the teams up, we can go through and look. But like, you know, if you're thinking about who have they got in the forwards? Britton Nakora is fucking good. Wade Graham's good. Aaron Woods does a job. Aiden Tolman, a bit of a nut trucker. I like Blake Brayley. I don't know who the fuck the hooker is for the Cowboys.
Rob Robertson, one of the best young guys coming through.
Who should be suing his parents for calling him Rob if his last name's Robson, with the greatest respect. But look, again, like I'm not saying Jordan McLean's good, hasn't been killing it. Shane Wright with the greatest respect. Mitch Dunn with the greatest respect. Reece Robson.
Did I say Rob?
You said Rob
Oh,
Robson.
apologies. Rob Robson.
Sharkies. Will Kennedy. Well, Hiroti, not really. I don't know Hiroti. But Dugan, Chambers, Tracy's been all right. Sean Johnson. Love Chad, one of the great halfbacks in the comp. Aiden Tolman, Blake Brayley, Aaron Woods, Britton Nakora, Wade Graham, Toby Rudolph. I'd say it's a better forward pack than the Cowboys. They've got Taumalolo.
Yeah, but do you think it's that much better?
No, I'm not saying it's that. I'm not saying it's night and day better. But like, I think that when you're talking about like Chad getting the Sharks to the 8, I don't think that is as impressive as if he was to go and get the Cowboys to the 8.
Man, that's surprising. I mean,
But look,
the
again,
Cowboys
I don't know what the fuck
Cowboys
it's all
are above in the table right now than the Sharks.
The Sharks aren't playing well, and maybe that's Chad's fault.
The
That's
Sharks have
surprising.
also
No, I mean,
lost their heart and soul.
I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, like, again-
they lost heart and soul.
They have. They looked at their heart and soul.
Listen, again, you know what I mean? Though, like, it's just obviously unqualified opinion here, but
And unwavering bias.
and unwavering bias against Chad.
Is it? Do you have something against the Sharks or against the Cowboys, or is it Dick
No,
Townsend?
not at all. I don't have anything against anyone in this situation. If you're a Parramatta Eels fan, unfortunately, I do. But I don't know. I just feel like Chad. I don't know. I'm not going to say anywhere at Chad. It's like I'm just bashing Chad. I've said my piece.
No. I mean, look, Chad's a very reasonable guy. He understands people have opinions. Most footy players are sweet with opinions. But I think it's a plan for Peyton. He brings them up, and they build into Scott Drinkwater Dearden being long term next 10 years.
Yeah.
Because he re-signed Dearden. He re-signed Drinkwater.
How old's Drinkwater?
He's about 23.
Dearden's 18?
19, 20.
19.
The Cowboys have certainly got some young throbbers.
I think it's a great plan from Peyton. I think it's a great plan from Peyton. Like they might sneak into the 8 this year without Townsend. And I would argue that I like Clifford. I think he's a good player, but I think Townsend's a better player at this moment. Clifford may develop into a better one, but I think it's a fantastic plan. And it's a smart plan on your salary cap. Townsend's not going to break the bank.
Yeah.
You get Drinkwater for not too much. Dearden was also signed on not that much because Broncos didn't even offer him anything.
Crazy.
Do you reckon they're taking a little bit of a leaf out of what Penrith did with Maloney?
I think so.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Maloney goes there, nurtures some young boys,
I think
in
so.
Jerome and Nathan, and fucks off overseas.
I think so. Honestly, I think it's a smart signing because it would be cheap. He's footy IQ and his attitude towards training is better than. He's as good as anyone.
Right.
So I think it is more built. I think Peyton understands he's not going to make. I mean, he may win a grand final. Who knows? Townsend has done it before.
Good cultural signing,
Great cultural signing. So it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how it turns out. Next topic: Hodgson named at 14. Starling has been named at 9. Hodgson a few weeks ago stepped down as a co-captain. Now,
So I heard this, but do you know the yarn around that?
yeah.
What is it?
I mean, as in, I've only heard it too. The yarn, and this is just allegedly, this is not, we don't know for sure. The yarn was that Hodgson wasn't happy with the fact that he had a conversation with Ricky. And again, this is all reportedly, so this is just fucking
and then it
journos.
leaked?
And then the next day, word for word, a guy that's good mates with Sticky was saying what the conversation was like. On top of that, last year with Bateman, he also had issues with certain things being leaked and not leaked. Again, This is all
Conjecture.
a conjecture, allegedly. So I don't know. I'm just getting, speaking to players or whatever. Like, I don't know what the actual definite 100%. I wasn't in the meeting, but that is the alleged incident that upset Hodgson, where basically he was like, if you're basically the discussion apparently was Ricky was going to rest him as captain or something, and then Hodgson was like, well, hang on a sec. So I can be captain only in the good times, but not in the bad times. Then he's like, well, don't be captain then, or something along those lines. And then Hodgson was like, look, if you're not going to have me captain all the time, I don't want to be the captain. But then Ricky has come out and said, when you find out the reason why he stepped down, you'll know it's not a big deal and it's no drama. So Ricky denies that is the case.
Why wouldn't Ricky just come out and say it? When you find out, Ricky's. It seems like there's just
look. The problem is the smoke.
Water.
Yeah, it's the smoke. If
there
it's not
is
true,
smoke fucking everywhere.
they can drop them balls left, right, and centre.
Yeah, dude.
Because they can't see. They're fucking
Can't
smoke.
see shit.
Bushfire season.
And Ricky's like, "What are you doing, boys? There's nothing going on." And like, mate, there is a fire on the field.
There's a fire alarm going off, Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky, we
I
can't see shit.
I
Dude.
cannot see.
My eyes are watering. There's so much fucking smoke.
And Ricky's literally just like, boys, stop carrying on.
Play on. Oi, harden up.
And he's got goggles on, so he doesn't. He's got like smoke goggles on.
Yeah. He hasn't fitted anyone else.
Yeah, everyone's trying
Fit yourself with smoke goggles first.
Ricky's putting his own fucking oxygen mask on. He's not looking
He's
after
not looking
the
after
team.
everyone else, and they're all fucking asphyxiating on the ground.
Certainly doesn't appear to be looking after his skip in Hodgson, who's stood down and now been dropped. So
But then John Bateman coming out from across the pond is almost like that doesn't help. It's like everyone's turning on him. Everyone's having there's shit coming from everywhere. Tarpany's misses. Papali. Hodgson.
Bateman from across the
Bateman
pond.
from across the pond.
Bateman's just sitting there going, I'm across the pond here. I might
across the
throw a
pond.
rock.
I'm going to throw a fucking couple of jabs in.
And you're across the pond. It
George
doesn't really
Williams,
matter.
homesick.
George Williams,
Never
yeah.
a good sign.
No.
Yeah. It's and so after the match last week against the Knights, basically Ricky Stewart was asked, is there any dramas? And he vehemently denies there's any dramas.
He also doesn't have a very
But
good
of course
poker
he does.
face. He doesn't have a very good poker face where they're like...
Ricky's got the worst poker face
He
of all
started
time.
swearing in the press conference. He's like, there's nothing fucking... For fuck's sake,
Yeah.
you're like, Ricky, this doesn't look like you're telling the truth. Are you lying to me right now, Ricky?
Yeah, like Ricky when he goes all in with fucking, a pair of aces, and you look over and he's just sweating. Smiling and sweating like this. You're like, Ricky, have you got some?
Have you got a good
you
hand
don't
here,
have pocket
bro?
aces, do you, champ? No.
No, I don't. This is
I don't believe you, man.
Ricky's poker face is horse shit. And he was a stressed fella at the press conference.
He is so stressed right now. It's unbelievable.
He is like you. I think if you had to categorize him, you would categorize him as a stressed man anyway.
Correct. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And if he's one of those what about
he's
fire
high
danger?
risk.
High strung,
High risk.
highly
He's
strung.
Like,
Yeah.
if you drive past, if they in Canberra, you drive around, they've got sticky stress meters everywhere.
Exactly. It's extreme.
It's not a fire meter, it's extreme. But he's even on a good day, he's fucking high.
And every day someone changes.
He's never good. He's never
Every
okay.
loss he's getting moved
He's getting
further.
worse and worse. So it's extreme at the moment.
Chance of meltdown.
Yeah, his chance of meltdown
Extremely high.
huge.
Roads closed. Ricky stress meters at extreme.
But
Meltdown
they
imminent.
it's the fucking Canberra Council just put them up. So if you see Ricky, stay
Fuck
away.
from him.
You know what I mean? Don't charge him for his coffee.
They
might-
Don't make it too hot. Don't make it too cold though either.
And then the news comes on and it's Ricky's stress meter today is at extreme levels.
If you see him on the street, a reminder that his number plate is.
Maybe they'll close the roads off so Williams can't leave. The
That's
stress
br-
meters are up at extreme.
They're so high. If Williams gets out of there, Ricky might explode.
Oh my god! Apparently, he's
Do you reckon
Andrew.
Ricky lays in bed just going, take me back to 2002.
Definitely grinding his teeth.
Take me back to
Down to the
2002.
gums.
Well, you know what's crazy is so Finchy.
That was a long time ago.
Brett
19
Finch
years.
was playing at the Roosters when Ricky was the coach, and they came second 2 years in a row, lost the grand final by 3 points, and Ricky said that his head's on the chopping block, Finchy's.
Jesus.
As a 21, 22-year-old half, Ricky was like, we came second, that's not good enough, you're going to get the second if we don't. I'm not sure if he said that exactly, but Finch said, they made it clear my head was on the chopping block.
After they lost.
The grand final by 3 points, 2 years in a row, they lost the grand final.
Yeah, they lost to Penrith and the Dogs, did they?
Yeah, and his head was on the chopping block. Jesus oh my God. Is that the most? Is the number 7 under Ricky the most stressful job in the history of the game?
Because Ricky was such a gun as well. It's like if you don't play as good as Ricky or better, he might shoot you in the night.
Because Ricky's he's sitting there going, bruh.
Yeah.
Making it like, how can you not go out there and get W's?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Did you
What are
see
you
how
doing,
I played
mate?
footy?
Like
Go back and watch that footage of the bloody 90s, mate, the 80s.
I used to win prems for fun.
Yeah. Literally for a giggle. Like, he used to wake up and go, oh, be fun to win a comp today.
I'm feeling like...
And then I did.
My stress meter is on prems.
Yeah.
And then he's
no, it didn't exist.
Yeah, exactly.
It almost wasn't a thing until after 2003 when they lost that fucking grand final to Penrith and they shouldn't have. And ever since then,
It's been on the up.
it's been bad.
Well, it's... I would love to see the stress meter, what it is like if they lose again next week in Canberra.
If they lose to the Dogs this weekend,
Yeah.
oh baby,
Bruh.
Oh my God.
baby.
Bruhs. Batten down the hatches.
It's
At what point? Okay, I'm just going to throw it in there. I'm going to throw it out there. At what point does he get the sack?
Nah, not even close.
Bullshit.
Club great, best mates with the CEO.
How many? What if he goes 10 losses in a row?
Nah. No,
11
I
losses.
reckon he's got
12 losses.
at least another 2 seasons.
24 losses in
You reckon he's got 2 seasons of
Yep.
full losses?
Oh, I didn't say
no
full losses.
fucking way.
No, he's got at least this season and next season.
What would it take to get? What would it take?
Mate, it would take Bronco-esque territory.
That hurt to say.
It did.
It did, didn't it?
Look, there's
8 points to 93 points. 8 points scored, 93 conceded.
He's a club
in the second
legend.
half.
to be fair,
I know he is.
He's best mate with the
I'm
CEO.
not saying any of that
He
shit.
turned
I'm
that club
just
around.
saying,
He's
at
leaking a
what
lot of
point?
shit to journos, so they're not going to
His fucking stress meter is like at extreme. People are scared to leave their homes. Like, I'm just asking the
it's a
questions.
state emergency because Ricky's stress meter has gone through the roof.
Chernobyl-esque meltdown.
Yeah. And everyone's ignoring it. Like they did at Chernobyl and cost lives. I'm not saying that he's going to kill people, but you know,
It could happen.
So ACT, you know, the
Which
head
is
of
a
the
territory.
country, they may have a new Chernobyl right now.
They are they could be the new Chernobyl. We're certainly...
No,
from the people we're speaking
Ricky's
to,
Chernobyl, and those around him, his great mates at board level, are the ones
who are just sort of
you know,
turning a blind eye.
Turning a blind
to-
eye. So we could have a documentary in 20
People
years.
out there with the gigameters or whatever. And they're
Stress
like,
meter.
Holy
A
shit,
stress meter.
Stress meter.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck it, look at this.
Holy
Oh,
shit.
No, that's
It
fine.
sings through the roof.
That's fine.
No, that's actually really normal for these areas. For
Ricky,
that's
fine.
pretty fucking
That's
normal.
fine. No, I think he's going to
Do you know what'll happen if he goes into a full-blown meltdown? Nah, fuck, don't worry about it. It's fine.
Then they'll do it like a post documentary of all the signs of Ricky about to explode.
And then it's like, oh, fuck, it's too late.
We should have seen it coming.
Yeah.
Our stress meters were literally exploding near his head.
Yeah, there's like a 12
fought-
kilometer radius of just everything's blown apart when
He got
explodes.
17 blokes, fought them in his office at once.
That was fine.
That
Play
was
on.
fine.
They
Play on.
ignored that.
We said, no, it's all good. That's old school.
That's it.
But yeah.
New South Wales government really should think about, you know, putting up a hard border with Canberra. You know.
Close the border. I mean,
Close it off.
yeah, it could be a thing because he is looking. If he loses to the Bulldogs, if it's not he, because the thing is it sucks at the moment. Is he genuinely turned that club around into a fucking full blown powerhouse? Where you were talking, he got the milk back. He got the boys in a grand final. You could argue six
People were
again.
drinking full strength again, mate.
Full
you know what I
strength.
mean? Everyone's on the oat fucking milk now and almond and all that shit.
Yeah.
He got people drinking the pure stuff again.
Yep, and that's the hard thing though. You know, does he need to do a roster change or does he need to change his ways? If it is him, you know. Like I think
His
that
roster's still pretty
His
good,
roster's
man.
incredible. Chance
He
still
hasn't
come
got, How
back.
many have they lost on the trot now? 5, 6?
5.
How
He
many
hasn't got a 5
Chance
losses
been out
on the
for?
trot.
Chance has been out the whole time.
Does that speak
Chance-
to a little
yeah,
bit of like
100%.
what Chance actually does for the team?
Chance. Okay, so the first year when everyone was Chance mad.
Yeah.
What people don't actually understand is statistically his second year was better than his first year. And because he's so quiet and unassuming and because like we always get on the band, whatever the media chooses to hype up, that's who we get on. And if they're not hyping him up, we kind of forget. But Chance is so important to that team. It's outrageous. But if they lose, if they lose to the Dogs, I don't like what's he get like he's gone so extreme already.
Yeah.
What's
He's got
the next
nowhere
step?
to fucking go,
Yeah.
does he? Except for a meltdown.
You'd be forgiven for forgetting that Jack White won Dally M.
I know, that's crazy. It honestly almost might cost him an Origin spot
Freddie
right now.
was-
Like, I was watching him play the other night, and I barely saw him on the field.
He's so good. He's so good too.
But Freddie was asked about Jack Whiten, I think on 100% Footy or whatever, one of the Channel 9 Footy show is. And they were like, is Whiten's Origin spot up for, like, debate? And he basically was like, yeah, well, we'll see.
Would you pick him?
Like
Right now, I think he's
Would
incredible.
you go Jerome and Nathan?
I would go Jerome and Nathan, absolutely.
And then Latrell and Turbo?
Can you imagine Latrell and Turbo
That's
in
what
the
I
centres?
like. That's what gets me up
Fucking
and about.
big bodies. And then what you do
Imagine
is
having two
And
cocks.
we
That's what
thought about obviously Fox on one win. You could probably put Brian To'o on the other, but maybe
Jason Saab.
putting Jason Saab in.
What do you reckon?
no. To'o is
Now hang on.
Hold on a second.
Hang on. A bloke that can run
Sub 9.
probably a sub 10. I don't know if he's tried, but I reckon if he did, he would.
Yep.
You're gonna leave him out?
He can also jump higher than Folau.
You've got fat dick on the flank, To'o. Mm-hmm. You got humongous balls at O'Card scoring 6 tries, and you're telling me Saab's going to get one of their spots?
Potentially.
No, we didn't say that. All we're saying is a bloke that can out-jump Folau and out-sprint anyone in the history of rugby league football may be worth a shot.
O'Card is still technically faster right now.
No, I don't think so.
That's what this.
No, you
Okay.
I don't know.
Those stats
Where
are
do you get that
bullshit.
from? Fox Lab? Fucking hell.
But what I would do actually is that I would go Tommy, Latrell, but on 5th and last on our line, put Tommy on the wing to catch the high balls.
I also wouldn't mind doing what they did in, was it game 2, Perth, in the rain? Is that my memory?
Bringing him into the middle.
Bring him in the middle.
100%.
Snooping around the ruck.
Yep.
Fucking
Yeah.
people up.
They should have-
I love his ruck work. He just catches people off guard constantly and just fucks
So
them
incredible.
up.
He's so incredible.
Is he better than Tedesco at
Lego.
fullback?
Look, we'll get into it. We'll get into the Tommy chat because we knew that that's where you wanted to take this whole podcast.
We've tried to.
We may as well delete the rest of that podcast because I knew in the back of your head that's all you were
tried
thinking.
to take
So-
it out.
I think we've been rather
We've been pretty reserved.
not conciliatory, but like we've been pretty measured.
Look, it's your show.
you know what? We'll get Bennett
show.
and then we'll get into
Yeah,
Tommy.
fair
It's
call,
ours.
fair call.
Co-host. Co-host.
Co-host.
Yeah.
that's
we
right.
just thought, you know what? We'll talk about it when it comes up because it will.
Better.
First, let's talk about Bennett. Bennett came out and said Reynolds won't be there in 2022, but he has had a history of saying that players won't be at the Rabbitohs and then they are at the Rabbitohs.
Yeah.
On top of that, he has the guard of, well, I'm not the coach anymore. I didn't think he was going to be there. They were having meetings. They were planning without me because I'm not here anymore. What are your thoughts on the Reynolds situation? And also, Reynolds did put up a cryptic post. What did he say, Matt?
He said, see you all. I'll get it.
Oh, my fuck. That is disgraceful. You're a Rabbitohs fan and it's your job.
He doesn't even know.
Is
Absolute
Bennett
nonsense.
done this year?
Yeah,
100%?
100%.
And so who's coming in after?
He's Dimitri.
Dimitri.
He's assistant coach. So he
And
said
is
like
Bennett going to go,
he hasn't gone anywhere yet. But he'll probably be,
but he wants to go back and live on the Gold Coast?
what I reckon he'll do is be a director at a club until the new club is launched.
And
Or
then
maybe
go
he'll
there.
spend that 12 months developing the new club because it's going to be announced pretty soon.
Hear it all, listen to nothing.
Hear it all, listen to a great cryptic Instagram
That's
post.
so good, dude.
So
And I'm pretty
cryptic.
sure he was driving a flash car
Yep.
as well.
Black
which
and
I
white. Black and white too, very cryptic.
Yeah.
What
which
car was he driving?
Kind of sexy.
It was pretty sexy. Oh, it was like, what car was it, Matt?
Well, the post was too mysterious.
Oh, love
Yeah.
But
that.
it was like, it looked European.
Oh.
And I was like,
Yeah.
you look like you got a fucking... He was just putting his hog on the table, basically.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, bruh, I want to come.
Do
I
what
want
I
big
want.
money. I do what
Yep.
the fuck I want. I cruise around. Mate,
I-
I don't know what the fuck is going on, to
You
be
got in
honest.
my head that the Rabbitohs could be wool pulling everyone and going, fucking psych, we got him.
I reckon it's a wool pull. I still believe it's a wool pull.
It's one of the great wool pulls all time if they do it.
They did it with Johnston.
They did do it with Johnson, but not like
This
to
is a bit
This is pulling all the
We're in. Okay, so we're in round 10. The Sharks basically had him signed, like set to sign.
I actually thought he'd signed. That's how signed I thought
Yeah,
it was.
exactly. And then
That made no sense.
the Sharks had him signed, and then all of a sudden the Broncos were really interested in the box seat. He asked.
Can we... Sorry, you keep going.
He asked for 4 years at the Broncos. Now we all know that like he's not going to sign a 4-year deal at this time of his career. So I almost feel like and they know that they're not going to get that. So therefore, let's just ask outrageous stuff. Not outrageous, but you know what I mean? Like
It's a bit ballsy. To
It's
ask
very
for 4
ballsy.
years.
And now Sharks apparently are in the back seat because they've upped their offer. You know what I mean? And these are two clubs that are desperate for half, and they're just getting played. I just think they're getting played against each other.
But is that classic negotiation 101? Like,
Just
yeah,
trying to get the best deal.
we know we're not going to get fucking 4 years, but ask for 4 years because then I'm definitely not getting one.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I asked for 4, bruh. You know what I mean?
The only problem, though,
Meet me in the middle. I'll take 2. Sure, that's what I wanted. Boom.
but the only
That's how
problem
you do
is that he's such a big marquee signing, he could miss the boat. Because Broncos could go, all right, you're not going to sign, we're going to get Sean Johnson. Or we're going to get X player. You know what I mean? And then the Sharks can also do, all right, we'll re-sign Sean Johnson for a bit more. Or Broncos go, you know what, we'll get Aiden Caesar for cheaper or Gareth Widdop. Like, there are ways to miss
he
the
could be
boat.
fucked.
Because he is a huge part of
But
the
looking
cap.
around the league, there is potential signings. You would, like places for him to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like George Williams goes home. Would he go to Canberra?
I don't think he'd go to Canberra.
But I'm just saying, if he needed a fucking contract,
Yep.
West Tigers, they get rid of fucking Brooks.
Well, I mean, even, could Broncos be
Sharks
sitting
potentially.
Could Broncos be asking
potentially.
for Williams? You know what I mean? Like, what if Broncos go, you know what, come live in the hot, good weather, and that means Reynolds misses out. It might be a Whipple.
I love the Woolpool yarn because it's the best. It's the best storyline of the whole thing is just that Souths are fucking everyone. So I love the Woolpool yarn. I also read today, though, that like the Broncos are going to take the piss in how hard they're going for him. Desperation as it is up in Queensland.
I mean, desperation is a word that could be used.
Yes.
Tactical is another one.
Tactical desperation.
Does desperation ever get you out of the hole?
I think so. I think that...
When has it worked?
Look, many times in my life. Many times. But yeah, look, we'll get to Broncos. Okay. If you had to say, gun to your head, where will Reynolds be next year? Where will he be?
I like to think he stays.
So you think he will stay?
I think that sanity will prevail and they'll find an extra year for him.
I like the idea of him staying because of the Woolpool yarn, but I actually think maybe the Sharks.
You reckon the Sharks?
As in if the Woolpool yarn is conspiracy, if I'm taking off the tinfoil hat, then I think maybe like you don't want to go to fucking Brisbane with the greatest respect. So maybe the Sharks is where you go.
I think when Russell admits that he doesn't have a half tree and that there's no one else fucking around, I think they'll come to an agreement.
So you think that Russell may be having trouble with his half tree now?
I think it's been a bad crop. It's been a bad year.
And earlier in the year it was looking good.
His crop looked unbelievable. He got unseasonal rains and it's not ripening like he would have hoped.
So the 50-0...
But you know what I mean? I think Adam probably cops a bit of what he wanted, and I think the Rabbitohs probably, concede a bit, and they just fucking get on with the job.
Because what I don't get is, okay, let's say you go, all right, we'll give you a two-year deal, but we'll put some clauses in it. You have to play 10, whatever games, or you can't be. Well, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, because if he's so old and it's such a risk, surely you can build that into a contract.
Yeah, like it's just you have to be available to play for every 24. Like not everyone, but you know.
Do you
what I mean?
reckon he'd go for that? Like, is he not going, bruh? Like, if I get fucking injured playing for the club, like, fuck you.
It's tough. It's tough. I just can't see. I really just can't see.
It just is so stupid from Souths if they actually let him go. Like, it just seems so dumb.
It seems bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. Okay, so. On to so you reckon Sharks, you reckon Rabbitohs, correct?
Yeah,
okay.
I think he'll stay.
I'm hedging my bets massively, so I'm saying both. He's playing for both.
Okay, it's typical. So Tommy Turbo on the weekend, absolutely incredible. Now look, I know that I've spoken a lot about boy band syndrome, and I know that for many a time that didn't make much sense, and maybe I was wrong. After the weekend. I could be wrong because I didn't think that Tommy would go this far to keep the boys together. He may be the greatest teammate of all time, and I have evidence of that. Obviously the other week we saw him and Saab have issues, nearly fractured the club. He scored a try, they didn't shake hands, completely brushed him. But what I witnessed on the weekend, I think they might win the comp. Tommy has sucked off Saab. In the middle of Manly Stadium.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've been trying to tell you. Tom and I have been trying to tell you every week. Like, mate, he's a team player.
By any means necessary.
You know
Last try, he did.
Sub's loving it as well. Tommy's fucking
Loving it. He's completing.
Because
That is completion.
the last time he scored, he didn't want to
and
bar of him.
Kane's pumped about it. He's like, yes, yes, let it go.
And then he scores this week, and he's literally sucked him off on TV.
Yeah.
It might be a premiership win this year. I've changed my tune.
It's a great omen.
It's a great omen.
It's a great
If
omen.
you're looking for
season.
omens in your life, well, in your rugby league life,
Yeah.
look no further.
Tommy Turbo deep throating.
Yeah, because look, he's taken the whole thing as well.
Oh, he's fully taken up. I mean, he is not held back.
No.
No.
Zero gag reflex.
That's an apology,
Well, he
bro.
doesn't actually have a gag reflex,
No.
which, son of a tomato farmer, which is, makes sense.
So, look, I do believe that boy band syndrome still does exist.
No, it doesn't.
But when Tom Trbojevic goes to these levels to keep the boys together, I think you could be onto something here.
Morgan Harper's overcome with emotion
Yeah,
on
look
the
at
on the
him.
back down. He's just like, I love this club so much, and the fact that Tommy's taken Saab so easily, it's just it's moved him.
Yeah, exactly.
He's hiding his face. He's like upset.
This is fucking emotional.
We're like crying with
and the
tears of happiness.
fans loving it. Look at them all. They're all on their feet.
Oh, it's a
at
great day for Manly fans.
It's a
great day for
the
Man.
club.
And just bring everyone together.
Yeah, it's a
There's,
famous day.
if you suck off your mate in front of all the boys, that brings them together.
How could it not?
No better place to suck someone off than Brookvale.
Always said that, haven't you?
Always.
You always have.
Yep.
So, look, I'm not going to
I've always said
apologise. I'm not going to apologise, but I think there could be merit that Tom will go the distance to keep the boys together.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
It-
And he took a lot.
He took a
Because Saab's a big boy.
whatever I have to take.
Yeah.
Humongous. That's a beautiful shot. I hope that gets framed.
It should.
Maybe you should frame it yourselves, get it signed.
They should run out to that next week. Like that's
Run
the
through
banner.
that banner.
Run through that banner.
And they come out like they're in. They come out his cock. But all seriousness now. I mean, I was serious about that.
No, yeah, I get you.
Yeah. What have we been talking about for 10
Yeah,
minutes?
this has been.
If not serious.
So it's great that the boys have gotten back together. But what is really interesting is the fact that, so earlier in the year, people were talking about Pappenhuisen, could he take Tedesco's spot? And it was almost, I didn't even really talk about it because I was like, look, that's just insanity. Tedesco has proven himself, and he has not only proven himself, he has killed it at origin level. And Pappenhuisen could suit the 14 role a lot. I think that I still don't think he should take Tedesco's spot at fullback, but I do think that they need to somehow integrate him playing fullback for periods of time. What do you got? Do you think that he potentially could take Tedesco's spot for the New South Wales side and Tedesco gets moved somewhere else? What do you think the Blues should do?
I don't think they'll do that. I don't think they should, to be honest, because Tommy's such a fucking threat. He can roam around.
His
Do you know what I
utility
mean? Like
value seems to be
it's
greater.
massive. Like again, back to that game too in driving rain when we towed you up. Like he was fucking everywhere. He can play. He's so dynamic that I think if you put him at the centre and let him roam a little bit, then you put Tedesco at the back, who's always safe as houses, always delivers. Put the C on his arm if you have to. Boyd out. He's safe. He's a safe option. Like he never lets us down.
No.
And I just think that to move Tedesco, and then where would you play Tedesco? He'd sort of like, he would be out of position if you
play
moved him from one. He would be more out of position if you moved him from one than if Tommy were let roam. You know what I mean?
I also think that like the culture of the team of like, to say that Tedesco gets moved, you're saying basically like we've got no loyalty. We'll just put the best of the best. I think that it would send a bad message. And also, I think Tedesco's earned that spot.
Yeah,
He's
100%.
fucking incredible during Origin.
Yeah.
But hear me out. This is what I think that could happen, is that could you potentially, you start Trbojevic in the centres, but in attack, you get your edge rowers to move out to centre and you get Tommy to move in to an edge back rower or a lock kind of role and in attack, but then in defence, he defends in the centres just to get him on the ball like a
game.
fullback as well. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. Well, like, I mean, that's...
Yeah.
He surely just has to get his hands on the ball as much as possible. Like, to your point, like, there's no necessarily real value in switching or, like, putting Tommy at the back and then Teddy sort of, where the fuck's Teddy go? Because you can't not pick Tedesco. But, like, I think it's fair to say that as of right now, in the fullback position, Tommy is a better fullback or playing better.
Form-wise.
Playing better than Tedesco. The shit he's doing is like, no, you're just kind of like, what the fuck? He's putting up crazy numbers. But you just need to have him in the team and you need to have him around the ball as much as possible and then let him rip.
I think Tedesco has proven more often on the Origin scale stage to be the man, though.
Yeah.
Like, I think you absolutely start Tedesco. But you're right, though. Like, the stuff that Tommy, like, on the weekend, I've never seen anything like it.
And
that was incredible.
That's like people like you and other like rugby league people are saying that. It's not just like dribblers like us who would suck him off at the flip of a coin.
Did you speak to him about the benefits you got of sucking the devil off? I mean, you obviously got Mad Cow.
I got Mad Cow. I don't know if that was from the devil. That's a good point you bring up. It may actually be directly related to the devil's seed, but I didn't talk.
Oh, you
to
didn't
Tommy
know? You didn't make that connection initially.
No, you know what? I just sort of thought, you know,
that was my insult to you.
I thought it was more. I just sort of thought like suck the devil off, get wins. I didn't think there was also going to be a fucking.
No, I thought you got an STD from the devil.
I clearly did, and I'm telling you, the scars are still healing up.
If the devil doesn't give STDs
Then what is the devil?
every time, then I've misunderstood the devil.
I'm sure it says it somewhere, you know.
He's definitely got something.
Yes, I mean, it's written down somewhere. So I just... So did you speak to Tommy about sucking sub off and that would maybe bring the boys back together? Or
Look, Tommy knows what I had to do.
We're actually in a group chat, and it was, you know.
The boys know what I've fucking put myself through for the club. They're well aware. I don't hold it over their heads, but they know.
like you've literally contracted an STD from the devil, so that you can get a win.
Bruh, Eddie, I mean, like you haven't done it yet, but
No,
I'm telling you, it's worth it. I'm telling you, it's absolutely.
We're kind
worth
of
it.
keeping me in the chamber for finals
For when
footy.
we really need it.
Yeah, like a premiership.
You'll have no hammies and you'll be sucking the devil off.
Well, I've given a hammy, prepared to give another one if needed. Obviously, I'm putting that through the rigours of
we're keeping
Division
that
2
thing
Oztag,
working
where
hard.
you know I'm fucking. Am I a Dally M shot? I don't know, but you know,
You did have Darren Lockyer's ghost.
all I'll say is the hemmy's tremendous. They're there if we need them. My mouth there if we need it as well. If we need it, if the club needs it, they know they've got my number. They've got my number. I'll do whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes.
By any means necessary.
Speaking of naughty devils, Roger Fabri.
Raj.
Has he had the best week of his career?
Look, I'm not going to say it, but I sort of will. Roger has always been elite at what he does. He's always been the king of cadence. It's just we've put him on the map. I feel like Tom and I and Rogers
and
Denon to a smaller degree. And Roger seems to be reaping the rewards.
Yes.
Big time.
You know what I mean?
Brand Roger at an all-time.
Brand Roger it's never been more valuable.
Oh, absolutely.
In terms of like biggest Rogers in the world, it's Fabri, then Federer.
Yeah.
I think so.
Like people that tried to short Brand Roger are now broke. Because he's gone from strength to strength.
Oh, I just
That
think
was a stock joke.
most of the people listening go, what the fuck?
Like
Short?
Short Brand Roger. What the fuck is he talking about? That was a stock joke.
Look, he's had an incredible, honestly, an incredible week. You know,
I can't understand who he's talking to though. I'd like to know.
oh well, to be honest,
in his stories, I'm
Yeah.
not sure. He was named coach
boys.
of the week, wasn't he?
boys, got to follow.
He's following you.
He's following me.
Is he following us?
I'm
He's
gonna.
not following us.
Fucker.
There it is. I'll keep.
Rog, bruz, what the
I'm gonna
fuck?
do it live.
Yeah. Following back.
Oh.
Fucking oath, Rog.
Can I actually ask why you weren't following him already? I feel like that's. Oh, look, also Fabri Academy, I'd be following there. Good follow there. He puts up his dancing videos on Fabri
Look, I feel like you're
Academy.
deflecting from the fact that you're not followed.
Well, I'm fucking fuming about the fact we're not followed.
Look, sometimes
Have we just missed it?
We follow him. I don't know if Rog follows us. Rog left one of the weirder fucking comments on our Instagram
I'll
page.
check.
But I mean, it's an absolute honour and privilege to be followed by the man himself. A man that's been followed by Usain Bolt is following me.
He's following you. Dude, you've made it.
I've made it. We made him, you know, people that don't follow the Instagram, we actually made Roger Fabri our coach of the week in the team of the week. And he had a comment.
Oh, no internet connection. That's annoying.
And he actually left a comment when we announced that he was Team of Coach of the Week, because he had Saab scored a treble. He had
The bloke you're leaving out of your origin side.
Junior from the Dragons on debut, score a try.
Fee guy, is it?
Yeah, Amon.
Yeah, big guy was the
Yeah, Junior Amon. And then he's done some work with Adokar, I'm pretty sure. 6 tries. It may be the greatest try haul from a coach in the history of the game.
Raz. Has he done work with Adokar as
I
well?
think he has done.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
he does work with Bryce Cartwright, who got a couple.
2 tries as well. So Roger Fabri has basically scored. What's that? So 6, 8, 12, 11, 12. Roger Fabri scored 12 NRL tries on the weekend.
Roger Fabri's actually leading the try scoring tally
That
for
is
season 2021.
Someone should update his Wikipedia. In all honesty, I think he should be getting at least half a try per
Yeah, I think
try.
so.
try, which puts him at 6 for last weekend.
Yep.
And then if you put him over the season, like
He'd be winning
he'd be
easily.
comfortably winning.
I think it's official that he is the leading try scorer for the NRL this year.
Yep.
I think it's official. But he
Happy to
did.
See, quote this podcast when you update his Wikipedia.
And so he left a comment. He said, "Fuck you, beauty. I've made it. All that smoke I've been trying to create, rubbing sticks together, it's finally coming together. Thank you." I mean, it's beautiful. This is what he does.
He's a poet.
He is a poet. And he's looking for the smoke. The smoke metaphor, I don't know whether he means he's creating it or he's looking for it.
Like, is he?
Or like you running
You
in-
running, that's fast. Rubbing sticks together is about just trying to create fire. If you're like, I guess, abandoned. I don't know if that's
Well,
got any
sticks
relevance.
rubbing together is like legs,
Okay. Yep. That's a deep metaphor.
which
It
creates
is.
friction.
But also,
A
if
lot
we're
of-
talking about like ideal running techniques, you probably don't want that, or maybe you do. I'm not a sprinter.
Well, but I think he's acknowledging that in rugby league football, big thighs equals PCMs, and
Yep.
it's unavoidable
Yep. That's, I mean,
that the thighs will come together.
And generate heat.
Yes.
there's only one man that can come up with a metaphor so deep, and it's Roger. It's layered. That's quite layered. But yeah, absolute honour to have him as coach of the round, and I can foresee him potentially winning coach of the year.
Coach of the year, leading try scorer of the year.
Has anyone?
Sky's the limit.
Sky is the limit. I mean, does he get a ring?
I wouldn't argue against it.
Maybe we get him a ring.
If
Would you
Manly
guys-
win the comp, I'd get him one.
King of Cadence with a K.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great week. It was a great week for Roger.
Too much?
It's just incredible. It's incredible to see the man rise to the heights that he deserves to be, and I feel like he's always existed. Just need a bit of
He
spotlight,
just needed a spotlight.
and he's there.
He just needed someone to shine a light on him.
Thank
Now,
God we came along,
on to we'll just speak about it quickly. Xavier Coates signing for the Storm.
Quickly? No, I don't think so.
Xavier Coates signing for the Storm. Obviously devastating. Obviously, we've lost a once in a generation talent, but also can't blame him.
You can't blame him. Life's too short. But like,
Life's
it is
too short. And when the Storm come knocking, it's hard to turn that down. Like
It's-
he'll be turning into an out and out thoroughbred down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's already ripping, right? And like, when you hear the way that Craig Bellamy speaks about him, just that like, and it was more, he was talking about him as a bloke, but like, you're already so good, and then to have someone like Craig who's clearly got an eye for it to hold you in such esteem, you're just like, fuck, as if you're not going down there. You're playing with Munster, Harry Grant, like just the play, Pappenhausen, like the players you're getting to play with by going down there. You're walking straight into finals. You know, just
Basically guaranteeing a top 4 finish.
Yeah, you're walking into top fours. What
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
Which is great. Like
every season.
every season, you're just going.
If you're in the top four,
four.
you're a fucking sniff at a prem.
yeah.
Like he'll win one down there.
I think so. Yeah. Like Bellamy is arguably at the peak of his powers. Like,
Yeah, he's signed up for next year as well.
yeah.
apparently.
I
think I heard that on your podcast.
I'm pretty sure he's signed, but then he has
See, now he's a wool puller he's one of the
He
great
is
wool pullers all time.
an old-fashioned wool puller. Oh, I'm interested. I might retire. I might not retire. And then all of a sudden,
He doesn't strike me as a man that could just like relax and fucking paint or something. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I think he needs to be out there coaching.
Yeah. I reckon he could paint, but I agree with you though. Like, he just certainly.
But not paint exclusively, Tom.
No,
it was my point.
Art.
No.
He couldn't dedicate his life to it.
No, that's exactly right.
Well, I don't think a lot of people could dedicate their life to art.
No, but, like Craig, if he did, he'd go mad. He'd Vincent Van Gogh himself. And
That would be a good
off.
good thing, though, wouldn't it?
He does have good art, but I mean, we
Yeah.
want the best for Craig. And I mean, Craig without an ear is not a good Craig.
Imagine
So I
if
But the impact
in
that-
the Louvre in like 20 years' time was hanging a Craig Bellamy. If he retired, painted, went
Goes into
mad.
art.
He may be the perfect candidate.
You know what? Dude, I'm into it.
You
The more
know,
I'm thinking
a
about
madman
Is
with
that
a
Craig
paintbrush.
Bellamy? Yes.
A madman with a paintbrush is a beautiful thing.
it. Is he the Picasso of our time?
Yeah, I mean, Craig Bellamy could be on the verge of being the Picasso of our time. Have you seen what he wears to the Dally M's? Holy fuck. I love it. It's the biggest dick suit you've ever seen. Because he's like, what are you going to say?
Is that like the Beetlejuice stripes?
Yeah.
That he wears?
And then,
Yeah.
like, it's just, he may as well wear a dick suit. You know those dip and the balls
And
down
the balls, like, that bounce along at
he
your
may as well
feet.
walk in like that because what are you going to say? He's Craig Bellamy.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say a fucking thing.
No, you're not.
He's going to say, I just fucked your team the whole season.
Yeah, you're going to shake his hand, go, you look beautiful.
Yeah, you look beautiful and you
Who
sorry.
are you wearing?
Yeah,
I'm
sorry
wearing
for
a dick.
offending. Yeah, literally. I am a dick, and I'll fuck you right now, right here, just like I did your team.
And Brand Craig's never been hotter because, everyone was like, oh, is it just Cameron Smith? Now Cameron's gone. No offense, Cameron, obviously one of the greats all time, but they're still doing the damn thing. You know what I mean?
They changed their whole everyone kept saying it's a wrestle, and then it was Greg Inglis going, and then it was Billy Slater, and then it was Cooper Cronk, and then it was like this they've literally the whole game has changed, and he's now essentially the best at it because they won the premiership last. I know they're not at the top of the table now, but they won the comp. You know what I mean? It's incredible. It's fucking incredible. But yeah, Xavier Coates. So obviously it's a 2-year deal, devastating. But at the same time, like how could he say no to it?
Yeah.
He would almost obviously being an ex-Bronco, I want him to stay, but he would almost individually, he'd almost be crazy to say no to that.
Yeah.
You know, the amount of money he's going to be worth, like when that 2 years is up and if he's stayed injury free, imagine the contract he's going to get. Like
Ridiculous.
absolute throbber. All right, on to the match previews. Tigers v the Knights. Tigers have moved Adam Dewey to the centres.
That's an inspired decision. I didn't like him at 6. Didn't like him at 6. I thought he was...
Wasn't he their best player?
he was letting the team
What
down.
the fuck?
Nah, put him in the centres. I want him touching
He
the ball
was their
less.
best player.
He was fucking fantastic. He
I
was
want
one of
him
the best
touching the
players
ball
around last week.
That's a desperation
Who's playing
move.
6?
Moses Mbai and Luke Brooks.
I thought they were done with the Moses thing.
I don't know. Honestly,
I thought the Moses experiment was done.
Dewey has been super impressive. When you
Yes.
watch the Tigers play, there's 2 players that you get impressed by. Laurie
Yeah.
and Dewey.
And
Correct.
Laurie's been picked at front row this round. So that's
Oh, has he?
exciting. Yeah, it's
Right,
exciting.
okay.
They're
I
trying
thought he
some
was coming
shit.
off the bench.
No, they're
as a
trying some
fucking-
shit. They're trying some shit. It's weird, dude. I mean,
So we got the 8 on the back, does he?
yeah, he does, and he's going to be fucking. They expect him to get some PCMs or get killed. Two options there. But I mean, like, what the fuck, dude? Like, what's Madge doing? Madge losing it?
Mate, it makes... Obviously, he has a plan. Obviously, he's seen something. But, like, if you're in the team and you see Dewey get moved, aren't you sitting there going, like, what, like, how good do you have to play to keep your spot?
Yeah.
You know?
You're literally one of 2 players playing well in the entire team, and you're getting shifted around.
I don't understand it. It's honestly one of the most shocking calls I've seen this year when it comes to team selection, because I've genuinely believed Dewey has been a shining light. And it can't be structure, because Luke Brooks is supposed to be responsible for structure. Mm-hmm. It can't be ball running, because he's been fantastic ball running. He's also had try assists. He had a 1 try and 2 try assists on the weekend. Like, what could it be?
I'm turning that
fuck
back
if
on
I
you,
know.
bro.
I
I
got
don't
no
know
idea.
what the fuck that could be. It
Yeah.
seems like he's he's losing it a little bit. Madge, like the rage. If we've got Ricky at sort of like, evacuate
Ricky's a
Canberra.
10,
If we're
Madge
evacuating
is a
Canberra.
9.
Madge we're evacuating Balmain and fucking Western Sydney almost, because Madge looks like he's fucking about. No one's redder than Madge. Madge is like,
Or is this Madge's idea of a wool pool, and they run out there and Dewey just plays at 6 with 3 on his back?
And Knights go, what the fuck?
I can't believe this fucking plays 6.
Dude.
Change the game plan. Change the game plan. Is that possible?
That is actually possible, and that's
Could be the greatest wool pull of all time. They come out. He
Talk
plays
about
6.
great wool pulls all the time. We'll talk about Madge round 10, 2001
Dewey
or 2021.
from 6 to 3 back to 6.
When he's been playing 6 the whole time.
Oh, the whole time.
Played 6 with 3 on his back, and they put 50.
No one knew what was
Mate,
going
how
on.
could-
Dude, he's wearing 3, but he's playing 6. Fuck.
Every time he runs the ball, their head just...
You wouldn't be able to tackle him. You'd be like, wait, you're out of position. Whoa.
You know what? He could be onto something because if Laurie's at 1 playing 8 or 8 playing 1, I mean, he may move. He may next week name Laurie at 8 but play him at 1. So every time he kick returns, he's like,
Who's doing this? It's just like a number fruit salad.
Yeah.
Just have everyone scramble.
Is there any rules around just fucking?
No, I don't think so.
fuck it.
That's actually, I'd love to see that. Name everyone out of position. Everyone
Out of position, go,
fuck's going
what?
on?"
Pick it.
You know what? Madge is onto something here.
Fuck, mate.
could
I
be
tell
a
you
great
what,
play.
Madge may well be a visionary.
Because if you'd be confused, it's like, who is the 9? Like, who is the 8?
What the fuck's going on here?
Like,
Dewey's wearing 3, but he's playing 6.
James Taumau, like, I know he looks like an 8 and he has been 8 for 15 years, but he might be in the centres next week. And how do you defend that?
What do you do?
So, look,
Genius.
I think it could be a massive win for them. I might be back in 30 plus.
I feel like I'm on Tigers now.
Because
Knowing what I now know, I'm prepared to change my bet.
Yeah.
And I love the look of Tigers 30 plus.
Dewey has bamboozled them.
Yeah.
They have bamboozled.
If that happens.
Yeah.
If
Yes.
Dewey plays at centre, then I like the Knights. So
Yeah,
keep
yeah,
an eye on proceedings.
Yeah, if Dewey runs out in the first set, he's throwing balls, kicking and that, Knights are in for a big, big loss.
Yep.
In big trouble. What do you do? What do you think about the Knights? Like, they seem to have a good team, but they aren't playing very well.
They
They've
need
got
halves.
an okay team.
Need halves desperately.
Yeah.
They've fallen off a cliff since.
But then, like,
Mitchell,
so last week when they're getting 16-0, I think it was at halftime against the Raiders, and then they come back. I missed that game, but, like, was that a Ponga just sort of flopping his cock out? As
Ponga
opposed
just
to
shaking his hips.
Yeah, right.
Just really shaking his hips. I mean, he had an error or two in him, but it was the Ponga show. Young hot boy, throbbing. Where were they? Were they out in? They're playing out in country. Wagga.
They wouldn't have won if he wasn't in the side. Put it that
Oh
way.
my god.
Yeah.
Definitely not. Just a young hot boy throbbing out in Wagga. And when a hot boy throbs in Wagga,
There's not much you can do.
there's not really much.
We
you
were
can do.
talking about this before. Do you think he'll stay in Newcastle?
No, I don't think so. Not if they continue. Because it's not like he's a player that just got this hectic contract and therefore, oh fuck yeah, I'm going to stay as long as I can. He can literally go to any club.
That was our argument.
Will he? Is he a 1, or like could he go to another club?
Okay,
with
this
a
is
sick team and play?
You know what
6?
I think would be a hectic plan, and I think I spoke to maybe Finchy, and I it's Manly that I'm talking about. Let's say the DCE thing is true. Let's just say it is, even though it's probably not. Let's say it is. You could consider you get a younger 7 that's coming through that's just structured as fuck. You pay for Ponga at 6 with Tommy at fullback.
I'd come in my pants.
That would be fucking outrageous.
Have you
Would
heard
we lose a
anything, Dana?
comp? Would we lose a comp?
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. We wouldn't.
Like, is there enough diamond in the world
I don't actually think so. They'd have to
to just
start
make
mining
that many
like asteroids and shit.
Because, like, if you win that many comps consecutively, you have to get bigger rings every time.
Yep.
Like, you know.
That is a rule.
Have you heard anything about Ponga coming to Manly?
No, it's just been something that I've just been. I
No
thought
whispers.
about.
No whispers at all.
No. It's just a theory that like one club that has a huge chunk of their cap in the halves that could pay for Ponga. That would, I mean, because the thing is if you've got Ponga at 6 and Tommy at 1, where do you look? Like, where do you look? It's just a complete nonsense theory, guys. Like, but
Seems to me like you need to sign Connor Watson as well. So I think that
So we bring Connor over as well.
we
yeah.
bring Connor as well.
Yep.
And-
look, Ponga's not going anywhere without Connor. It's a package deal.
Package deal.
I think it's a package deal. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
Connor, Ponga to Manly. And what, we just let Cherry go.
Yep.
I will never let Cherry go unless Ponga's already signed, put it that way. And I love Cherry.
I mean, is there any image hotter than Connor Watson running down the northern beaches?
No.
No, dude. Especially with Ponga following him and then Turbo just like unfurling his cock in front of him and they're running along that.
Maybe they could.
Maybe we win the comp this year. We say goodbye to Cherry. Like that's thanks for your services. You've got 2 comps, and then we fucking bring Ponga in. I like that a lot.
And he could get a express on Tommy's cock from Newcastle. He could still live in Newcastle and just drive on Tommy's cock to training every day because it's quicker.
Well, you can run fast trains along the cock.
So
they're bullet trains.
If the government approves Tommy's cock to go to Newcastle, I think you could see the deal get done. Gets to live in Newey.
So you're saying we got to talk to Gladys about this thing?
I think
Premier
so.
New South Wales.
Look, if we can get Connor and Ponga in a room with Gladys, 2 young hot boys, I don't see her saying no.
That's true.
No, I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so.
So look,
Who would?
that's a great question.
if we can get that Tommy Cock Highway, what would you name the highway like that is Tommy's cock?
T1. T1.
So Ponga on the T1 takes 25 minutes from Newcastle. Could be on here. The T1.
T1 to Newcastle.
Is that the T1? How was it? Oh, a bit bumpy today.
It fucking smelled a bit, eh?
Yeah.
It was like trash on there. Had these weird bumps on it. But it's just like it's fantasy though. But like I just think when I'm thinking of
you got me going, bro.
when I'm thinking of clubs that like that would actually suit, that would be something that could work out.
But you think Ponga does have a future outside of one though, right? Like he could be playing in the halves.
As long as he's not the main guy.
Yeah.
Because if you put him in the halves and he's the only guy, teams just run at him all day. And of course they would still run at him all day if he was 6. But when you've got to worry about Tommy as well, and Jake and all the other boys, it just spreads out the focus as much.
Yeah. So if you've got like an elite 7 or like a solid 7,
just a solid 7,
and then he just fucking does his thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have Ponga. But anyway, it's just fucking.
I do like sending him in with the 1 on the back for now, though.
Absolutely.
But in maroon and white, I'm happy to take him into 6.
Well, obviously he can't. He's not going to unseat the best in the game, is he?
No, he's not.
Doesn't make sense.
Okay, so Knights, look, they fought back last week. This is going to be a real a game to basically say, was it a fluke or are they going to go on another losing streak? But I think they showed signs of improving. I think Lachlan Fitzgibbon back is a really big back in. Tyson Frizzell played really well last week. Jaden Brayley, he's been playing some good footy. I am going to go Knights 1-12.
I would agree. I'm going to go with that.
Unless Stewie is wearing 3, but he plays 6.
Which I've already covered.
Now, we haven't said it. So this week, guys, Broncos v Manly, Beers and Footy. It will be myself, Tom and Eddie, and we will watch the game together.
I can't wait for this one.
I'm pumped.
I mean, I'm excited because I think that this is going to be a famous win. You're coming up to our home ground, Suncorp. It's known as a graveyard. We have put teams away there. And
we're the home side, though.
Exactly. We've all pulled you.
It's a home game for us.
We've all pulled you. We've convinced you that it's a home game, but you're playing at Suncorp. That's how much dominance we have over you at the moment.
This is going to be
that's how confident we are. We're like, we'll take a home game up there. We don't give a fuck.
No. Broncos? Yeah, sure.
Broncos?
Okay, sure. Not a problem.
It's going to be a massacre. Honestly, it's going to be...
Yeah, it will be. You're dead right.
It's going to be a massacre for the Broncos because it's going to be an intertwine of Talis' spirit, Webke's spirit, Lockie's spirit. When it comes to magic,
hasn't
Broncos...
named a current player yet there.
No, he hasn't. Name someone in the current side, if you don't mind.
Oh, Tyson Gamble.
That can stop Tommy.
Tyson Gamble. You saw him. You
reckon Gamble can stop Tommy?
Absolutely.
At full flight.
Tyson Gamble is going to save the club. And we saw it already. He, beautiful little short ball for Ricky. The week before, he was getting in blokes' faces, fucking just arcing up for the boys. Look, he's bringing passion. He's the man to stop him.
Okay.
Wow, okay.
Well,
you put a lot of pressure on old Tyson there. Fuck.
Tyson listens
He steps up to it. He loves it.
I mean, he better love it because it's going to be happening all fucking night.
The problem is we lost Carrigan. That's upsetting.
That sucks.
Because he's so fucking good.
Who's going to be skipper?
He's not skipper anymore, is he?
Jake Turpin.
Is Carrigan skipper?
Yes.
I thought he got relieved of his duties.
Or Alex Glenn's injured.
Okay.
So
Turpin takes over. Okay.
Look, this is what's going to happen, boys.
I mean, team for team here, like player for player. Jake, sorry, Tommy Flegler. See ya, brah. Josh Schuster, best no look passing the comp.
Tavita Pangai Jr.
Kick rocks, Tavita.
Tavita who?
Tavita is literally going to go beast mode.
Olakawatu. name
Jordan
I've
Ricky,
now got.
have you seen how hot he is?
He's hot, but he can't play footy compared to Olakawatu.
Are you serious? He's one of the young guns coming through that
Olakawatu
any club would take.
is the young gun. Olakawatu's going to snap that.
What's better than a
half.
good footy player? A hot good footy player.
Have you watched
Olakawatu.
Alakawatu play?
Alakawatu. He's actually really good.
He's unbelievable.
He's good, eh? Like
He's a fucking great player.
the thing
Des
is-
has found these blokes.
Des is good at that.
But like we found,
From
like
the
at the start
ether.
of the year, I reckon everyone was like, "Fuck, man, he's got no depth." Like we're pretty fucked, and obviously without Turbo playing,
Hang on a sec. We weren't talking about your depth at the start of the year. You were shit.
we were shit.
No,
but
we were
it
talking
was
about
like, but like depth was a problem, right?
I can't talk either because Broncos were bad as well. So
Yeah.
look, we're both shit.
But depth was an issue. But now you're like, oh no, it's not Sean Kepi. Thanks for coming.
No,
Olakawatu.
you're totally right. Like Manly, the Des's ability to get the best out of players that are coming through that are relatively unknown.
Olakawatu, I believe. I was trying to pay attention.
He's
when
been
I was calling his
fantastic.
name on the
Manly's
weekend.
turnaround has been incredible, absolutely incredible. Or even Croker, Croker, his turnaround personally, he's been fantastic.
He's playing good footy.
Fucking oath he is. Even Foran's been
Growing
very
into the
settled.
nine.
And then even like a guy like Saab, but the one guy for Manly that I fucking love as a player is Morgan Harper.
Yeah, dude.
He is a fucking gun, man.
Gets in and gets after.
And also a lot of like people aren't realizing Saab's form lifted when Morgan Harper came in the side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Morgan Harper is a fucking gun, and he's an unassuming guy. He's not that big, but he seems to be strong. He always looks to put his winger away rather than being selfish.
And he's got an offload. Like he's drawn
Yeah.
the man and given these flick
a fucking
passes
good player.
to Saab a
And he
couple of
runs
times.
great lines.
Great lines. He's a fucking
Where's
good
he
player.
from? What's he?
He's a Kiwi.
But he
No,
was a
but like-
Bulldogs player.
no, but like
Bulldogs, yeah, Bulldogs.
Bulldogs. Right.
But
Surprised they let an outside back go.
Well, maybe they thought, fuck, is 12 outside back too many?
but look, when you come up against this big dog pack, led by Payne Haas, he hasn't eaten in fucking 3 weeks.
I know, mate. He's hungry.
And he, last week, 170 metres, 40 tackles, no misses. That's the kind of business that he gets down to. You're just not going to be able to go with our forward pack, unfortunately.
I mean, that's just probably not true, though, right? Because like you guys aren't that good. With the greatest respect,
Look,
obviously.
it's going to be an ambush. Manly flying
Mate, Payne
high.
Haas is a beast. I'm not going to say he's not. But
No,
like,
not disrespecting Payne Haas, terrifying
So what?
individual.
Yeah, but sometimes the beast, when you unleash him, he can't be stopped. And I've got a feeling that Brisbane are going to unleash the beast that is Haas and Tavita Pangai Jr. Flegler's going to get through his work his ass off. Jordan Ricky, he's going to look pretty as fuck, run some good lines.
what do you reckon they'll do when it's 12-0 after 2 minutes? Tommy's gone over twice. I reckon the fucking.
I reckon
dog
Tyson
goes out
Gamble's
of
going to
him,
fight him.
Huh?
I reckon Tyson Gamble's going to fight him.
Gonna punch on.
Tyson Gamble's going to get flogged. You know what I mean? Like the sting will go out of it.
No, look, Xavier Coates signed a new contract now. His headspace is good.
Has he signed for how long?
2 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I missed that.
Signed for 2 years.
So, I mean, I guess the tactic might be just to like challenge him defensively.
No, because his head's sweet now.
Oh, so it was about the contract negotiations.
No,
when he
but
was
he's
first.
been playing well. He's
No,
got
he's good.
he's
Dude,
got
he's-
more tries than sub.
Dude, he's a weapon in attack.
Got more tries than sub.
Does he?
It's going to be an attack off, and Coates is going to win.
Okay.
Asako, look, great ball runner. He's going to tear you apart. Better ball runner than Tom Trbojevic.
Damn it.
He's a better fullback.
Now I know you're taking the piss.
No, he's a better fullback.
Look, I mean,
Look,
rigorous
the other week we were down by 20. Brought us back into the game. We won it.
Why were you down by 20?
I didn't see Tommy doing
Why
that.
are you down by 20?
I didn't see Tommy doing that.
why were you down by 20 though, Dennett?
Look, was Tommy down by 20? He was only down by 18 or something like that. We were down by 22, and Sarko brought us back. Therefore, Sarko is the best fullback in the comp.
We were dead last. And now we're ninth, probably eighth. We'll be seventh.
Look,
Probably
Asako,
finish fifth.
he struggled last week. He's going to bounce back. Herbie Farmworth, 230 metres last week.
I like
6
Herbie
tackle breaks.
Farmworth as a player.
Fucking has a red hot
There, I
crack.
said it.
He's going to take whoever his centre is to school. Jesse Arthur's also really good looking and quick. That's what you need as a footy player, good looking and quick. Corey Oates, Origin veteran.
Former.
Origin current veteran.
Former Origin
Milford's coming back into his best form I've ever seen him play. It's going to be a riot up there for the Broncos.
I think you're going to leave in tears. That's what I think.
It's going to be fun though. The beers, can't wait for beers and footy. I tell you that.
No, I'm looking.
I can't wait either because that's how confident I
Dribblers
am.
in the DMs.
I told
I can't wait for this.
I literally told my missus, I said, I can't wait for Friday when my team tears up Manly. I said that today.
I'm getting a taxi in. I'm getting a
I'm
taxi.
getting a taxi. Fucking oath. I'm going to get blind.
I think Broncos 1-12.
Manly 13 plus.
Manly 13 plus.
To be
Manly 20 plus.
15 plus. Actually, you know what? Broncos 15 plus. Broncos, to be fair, Broncos forward pack is starting to create a bit of an identity. I know we lost on the weekend.
Yeah, but it was a close fucking game.
It was a close game, but I'm just seeing, you can see they're coming together as a pack. You know, they're starting, like Fifita Pangai Jr., he's playing some good footy. Haas is obviously incredible. Lodge played really well last week.
Yeah.
I genuinely believe that forward pack is starting to build a bit of an identity.
Yep.
You know, last week what really let us down is our backs. We had 8 errors compared to our forwards had I think 3 or 4. If they can get rid of those errors, I think that it can be a big game.
You certainly got a good forward pack, right? Like that forward pack is one where you look at it and you go you should be doing better than you have been. And I mean, look, it's not going to go the way you'd hope this week, but you guys are all right. You're cool.
You know who I do like for Manly though is Sipley when he comes on, and Sean Kepi on the weekend was fantastic.
Yeah.
I like Ethan Bellamore for Broncos. He's been really good. I think I know we're not winning every single game, but I do believe that we're starting to create a little bit of an identity as a Broncos. Even though we lost last week, I can cop losses like that because the boys are ripping and a tearing.
Yeah, it's a close loss.
Absolutely, we have to remember our club got completely blown up. Like, you know, we just moved a coach on that made some some decisions that didn't seem to work out. So it's going to take us time, and I'm okay with, as long as the boys are having a dig every week, I'm fine. Because imagine this, if we can keep these guys together, imagine them in 4 or 5 years.
Also, Danny Levi, anytime try scorer because they haven't put his face into the team list. So
how long do they need?
That's always
honestly?
a good omen. I mean, Danny Levi's been playing in the comp for years. Played for the Knights, played for Manly.
But seriously, none of our forwards are over 26 years old.
Yeah.
Ricky is 19, 20. Haas is 20 or 21.
It's crazy how young Haas is.
Fifita is 25, I think. Flegler is 20, 21. If we can keep this nucleus together, they'll be hardened veterans in 3 or 4 years. So, and then I think Herbie Farnworth is a fucking gun. I really rate him as a player.
He's a pom, right?
Yeah, he's a pom.
He seems like as a pom, he play one that's not spoken. Usually if you're a pom in the NRL, everyone's always talking about how
I think it's because Broncos struggle in that.
Right, so
Yeah,
he just doesn't get spoken about.
Doesn't get spoken about as much.
Doing his
But I think he had a contract with Manchester United or someone. He was fucking 10 years
Really?
old.
Really?
Yeah, he's a good soccer player. He's a gun. I've
Sportsman.
I've been saying this for years. Even when they were losing Herbie Farnworth, I fucking really rate him.
Yeah.
Corey Oates, we know what he can do. If he plays well, he can be destructive. Same with Coates. I think that if the boys can pull it together, we're looking at 15 plus.
No, I'm not convinced.
Okay.
You
Fair
did your best.
Yeah, no.
Each their own. I mean, I'm not trying to convince you.
You made a case.
I'm not trying to convince you because
I'm not buying
guess
what you're selling.
What goes up must come down. And you're on the high, great win last week, but the Warriors nearly ran you down. And I think you've been blinded by Tommy's cock.
That cock's blocked out the sun for
and
me.
so
That's for
I think
damn
the sun
sure.
is about to shine, and we're about to win. 15
Love
plus.
that.
15 plus. Bulldogs versus Raiders. This actually is a match of the round because otherwise Chernobyl's going to happen in
That's
ACT.
true. There's a lot on the line here. Who's out? Rapana, Tarpanay, Sutton. Is that injury related or is that Ricky fucking
Injury related.
warp speed about to explode?
Injury related.
I cannot wait for this game.
I actually can't do.
I'm actually fucking
Yeah.
pumped
Yeah,
for it.
I agree because it's so much riding
There's
on
so much on the line, mate.
Could you
obviously,
imagine?
Obviously, Trent smells blood in the water.
Yeah.
He's like, holy shit, we're a sniff here.
Yep.
Fucking oath, we're a sniff. And Ricky's like, if I don't get this W, there's
blow.
no more Canberra.
I'm going to blow the whole place up.
The whole fucking thing.
Mate, it's one of those things where it could be a massive score for Raiders because they have so much to play for.
That's what I'm like. Do the Raiders go out there and fucking towel them up?
Well, you've backed
30,
them again,
40.
haven't you? You've backed the Raiders every single week.
I did.
Yeah, you got to hang in there.
Yeah, I have to.
You gotta hang tough.
I've come way too far.
Yeah,
To tip against them when they're playing the Dogs.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
If I turn around against the Dogs and fucking go, nah, not this week, they'll go out there and put 50 on them.
Yep.
And then I'm here nude.
Yeah.
And the tide's gone out.
I'm going to go Raiders 15 plus. I think they're going to come out and go fucking
Beat
crazy.
the fuck out of them.
Yep.
I've gone Raiders 13 plus, 15 plus in solidarity with you, Kempy, and Sebastian Chris, anytime try scorer. I like that guy. I don't know. There's something about him.
I think the line's 15.5.
Yep.
And I've taken the Raiders to cover that.
Okay. Doggies, I think we've spoken ad nauseum about them in the sense of like, I don't know what the problem is. I don't know how you fix it. They've got a new half. Brandon Wakeman will be playing 6, Averillo 7, which is a bit odd because Averillo is not a ball playing half. He's a ball running 6.
And
strange decision.
so they've got like just 2 players who are the similar style in the halves.
Yeah, I mean, I'd understand if Wakeman was a 7 because he's a little bit more ball playing, but maybe he's just going for a game plan where it's like, you know, not much structure and
Fuck
just
it footy, we call it.
Just fucking running hard and
Yeah, we call it bucket footy.
well, he's playing fucking footy on the board. It's fucking footy, boys.
I tell you what, bottom 8 footy can sometimes be the most entertaining.
Oh, absolutely, I'm with you. So Reynolds is back for the Rabbitohs. I am going 15 plus for the Rabbitohs because if if Wayne can't put a rocket up after last week,
Yeah.
and also Reynolds being back puts Benji in the halves and takes a bit of pressure off Benji. Cody Walker obviously at the back. I think Rabbitohs is going to put on good performance.
What were you seeing in that game? Like, obviously, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, so I just saw complete and utter domination, right? Like when fucking Grant came on, they just fell apart at the seams. But what a club like the Rabbitohs, who were touted as a fucking premiership contender, they've got outs, right? We all know they had outs, but 50 points.
Yeah, but you look at the outs, man. Like Cam Murray locks that middle up.
It's an out thing?
Yeah, absolutely. It's an out thing on as well as like you've got, you know, Benji Marshall at 6. Like he's a bit older. Like you don't want him at this stage of his career being the main man. You know what I mean? And then you've got this young guy that's come in that's in his second NRL game. So when you're looking for like guys to go, boys, fucking, you know, pull us all together, they just didn't have that. Like Latrell was out. When you've got Cody Walker at 1, he can't pull the strings. He's got to be the tip at the end of the spear rather than the handle. So I genuinely like Reynolds will change everything because all their structures are going to be different, getting to different parts of the field, and also people listen to Reynolds. It's very hard for the hardest thing about a young half is people listening to him. So when he says, when I say get to the post, the goal post, the right goal post. If I'm a young half, a forward might take a run and he'd be like, oh, I'm going to be selfish here. I'm going to skip across because I think that I'm going to make a line break. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so as a young guy, I can't go to that forward after that play. Next time I fucking say get to that post, get to that post. Whereas Reynolds, if he says get to that post and the guy doesn't, he can go, mate, if you don't fucking get to the post, I'll get you fucking hooked. You know what I mean? Like, so these things that a lot of people don't really see, like if you've got a set where you're supposed to get to points on the field, and you've got selfish forwards that would rather make extra meters than getting to a point on the field, it throws your whole fucking set out. And if you don't have leaders to bring it back in to make sure that you're getting to, because like points on the field are so important because you're trying to get to certain points so that you can strip them of numbers. Like, so if you get to like the goalpost, you want them to put too many on the long side, too many on the short side. Where if you're just getting to fucking anywhere, there's no set in your mind of like, oh, because we've run this play, there should be less numbers on the short side. Or I've just got to look at 2 spots and know, you know, there's
Just
one there.
so
Yeah,
suck
there. Whereas if you're just getting anywhere, you've got to be like, oh, I don't know which one's actually supposed to be longer. I've just got to look at both sides and, you know, it's too slow.
Yeah.
So, and then you've got Cam Murray who gets through a ton of work in the middle. That's really important. Latrell Mitchell is also a huge out. I genuinely believe it was outs. Absolutely.
You know how they say if you get 50 put on you, you can't win the comp, at least historically? Do you put a line through them?
No.
The Rabbitohs?
Not if they were like a Storm or the Roosters or whatever, I could consider it. But the Rabbitohs are such a like up and down team that can like chase points in that. I just think if there's one team in the comp that could do it, I think it's the Rabbitohs because they're so up and down. You got to remember, like last year they beat the fucking Roosters like 52-0 or some shit like that. Remember that?
It was 60 something.
Yeah, something like that. So that's how I don't know what the word is. Like they're an enigma. You know, you can't really.
You can't box them into the.
Yeah,
if you
they
see
just-
something like the Storm or the Roosters losing by that much, you go and there's something.
There's
wrong
problems
here.
there, yep.
Whereas with them, they fluctuate.
They fluctuate so much. You're like, what the fuck? Like they were a 40-20 away from beating Penrith last year into a grand final.
Yeah.
When 6 weeks before that, like 10 weeks before that, some people didn't even have them in the 8. That's how much they fluctuate as a team.
If they get on a roll, they
get on a roll. Like, and honestly, I remember a podcast mid-year, and I was saying I think Rabbitohs just can sneak into that top, and people were like, "Man, you're kidding yourself," because they were sitting like 7th or 8th and they'd lost a couple. They're just so up and down as a team, so I think that they can bounce back from it. And I do think it was outs. Sharks, I mean, they've just got so dudded by their decisions above them. Like you could tell that they're struggling to find reasons to play for each other.
And once you're in a when you're in a team like that and everything's just going wrong, right? Like, and you're just getting fucking pumped. Does anything are you able to get yourself out? Is there really anything you can do, or is everyone kind of in the same? We're just going fuck. Everyone's rocking up a training, just like fuck. This is shit.
Well, that's why a good coach is important.
Yeah.
Because when you're struggling, he finds ways to pick you back up again. The toughest thing is when you're losing, everyone's walking in, heads down. This is fucked. Like it's a very down vibe because everyone's so upset they lost. Whereas when you're winning, everyone's fucking loving life. And so as a coach, it's the coach's job usually to find ways to make you forget the week before, come together, have those small wins, and then start playing for each other.
What are they doing wrong then? Like, maybe that's a super broad question, but like when you look at their roster, it's not a shit roster, but they're getting fucking dominated. Like, is there anything that you're seeing that you can put it down to where you're like, they're just not having a fucking go?
No, it's not that they're not having a go. They're not working together. You know, like they're not willing to, at the moment, because everyone's like, I'm off contract, I don't know whether I'm going to get re-signed. They got rid of the coach. We love the coach. Like everything is working against them to work together. Whereas like you look at the Storm, it's a stable club. They've got their squad. They've got something to work towards. Whereas the Sharks, you've got 15 players basically that don't even know if they're going to be there next year. So when it comes to the little things of like, instead of taking a selfish run, I take a run for my mate or a support player or whatever, you just don't do them because you're not thinking about, your mindset is not about the team. It's about survival yourself. Yeah. That's your job on the line. You know, it's you're playing for your job. And so there's just got to find a way to come together, I think. It's just, I just think they were pretty dudded by the decision. They should have kept Morris. Morris wasn't going to go win a premiership, but at least he could have got into the finals. Fitzgibbon comes in and then it's sweet. But I'm going Rabbitohs 15 plus.
Yeah, Rabbitohs 15 plus.
Yeah.
Big time.
Roosters versus Cowboys, absolutely decimated by injury. The Roosters, they still have a throbbing team though. Lachlan Lamb returns. Sam Walker, I think he still has to be cleared, but he should play. The Cowboys, they're slowly coming together.
They're certainly improving, aren't they?
Absolutely. Like compared to the start of the year.
Felt try was fucking
outrageous
last week.
That didn't make sense to look at. It just didn't make sense.
It was, and for him to like be able to just like no one's going to knock the ball out, crazy.
But he got it down so pure.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It was like
wasn't
clean.
That he got his arm out. It was so clean, and it was in like the position relative to the corner.
How did he even see it?
No,
you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, no idea. Actually, what the fuck you're doing?
Just one of the great put downs.
He's a good finisher, young Kyle, old Kyle.
I am going to go Roosters.
Yeah, it's like that's what's crazy about the Roosters, right? Is that even when they've got all of these injuries, they've still got such a great team. Tedesco coming back. Or no, not coming back. He came back last week, didn't he? But
Tedesco ran for 79 metres last week. Crazy. I've never seen that before with Tedesco. Shows you how much possession the fucking Eels had.
It also says a little bit about the Eels, which you were talking about before. We can wait until you get to the Eels game. But like, they've still got such a great side, the Roosters, that you can't see him. And Suwali's been named. Oh, no.
Reserves.
Sorry, that was down. Reserves. When's that motherfucker getting a game? Jesus Christ. You'd hard to go past the Roosters.
Yeah, I think
13 plus Roosters.
I think 1 to 12 Roosters.
Their side's still fucking great.
I know, it's crazy, eh? It's fucking crazy. Warriors v the Eels, 150. Eels, $1.37 favourite. I'm thinking maybe a sneaky upset could be on here. I don't know.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if the Warriors are like an upset team a little bit. They can sort of come and just shock.
They have a big following in Brisbane too.
But Eddie, what were you saying about the Eels, or that you'd been listening to someone talking about the Eels in the sense of like when we talk about the Roosters game, it was like the fact they beat the Roosters who had so many injuries and the stats were so in favour of the Eels.
Like overwhelmingly so, and they just couldn't put them away until the end, right? And people were saying, like, in games like that, if you want to be a premiership contender, you got to go out and fucking dominate and assert yourself and assert your will. And like, although they're chalking up W's, is there enough evidence to suggest that that they're a team worthy of winning the comp? Then they went on to talk about Moses and how he just runs way too laterally and he doesn't straighten the attack whatsoever. Do you see that from his game?
Oh, so I see it in a semi-different light in the sense I agree with you that when the Eels go laterally, they struggle. When they get direct, they're fucking really, really good team. I think it's a mixture. Like I'm still on the fence of it. I think it's really good that Mitchell Moses stayed patient. Because last year's Mitchell Moses would have started wigging out and just throwing whatever he could. So it's really positive signs that he's matured enough to go, look, we're not scoring points, but let's just keep completing, and we'll eventually win the game. So the good thing about that is they can fix that in the sense that they can fix the lateral stuff. What they can't fix is if he starts wigging out when they don't score points. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I agree. They should have. If you're a premiership side, and I was saying that on the Beers and Footy as well, if you're a premiership side, you should have put 40 on the Roosters then. But in saying that, it's a long year, and they have time to sort that out. You know what I mean? They've got time to go, all right, we were a bit lateral here, but we completed at a high rate. We dominated their forward pack. We had heaps of tackle breaks, heaps of line breaks. So I think as long as they're coached correctly and Moses reacts, like I still think Mitchell Moses is having a fucking great year. I really do. It's just a matter of straightening up their attack. One point that someone did bring up in the comment section on Beers and Footy was Reid Marnie did go off basically at halftime. And he straightens their attack up a lot off him. He does a lot of plays around the ruck. So if he's not there to do that, then Moses does what he naturally likes to do, which is to go across field. So I think that if Reid Marnie plays 80, they are a much more direct team. And I'm probably going to pick the Eels, but the Warriors I think could be a sneaky chance at an upset. But I'm going to pick the Eels, I think.
I've gone Eels to cover the line, which is like 7.5 points.
I can't remember what my bet was, but it was certainly the Eels to win.
The only thing is Jacob Arthur's debuting, and that's Brad Arthur's son, which is interesting.
That's right. I didn't realise that Brad had a young throbber on the rise.
Yep.
Jacob Arthur.
And so as long as he gets cleared because they played New South Wales Cup.
Oh, that whole shit.
Yeah, that whole schmozzle. But apparently they're going to clear them, but they're not allowed to train with the team until Monday or the day before the game or some shit like that.
Really?
Yeah, which doesn't really matter. He's trained all year with them.
Yeah.
It's fucking whatever.
Yeah.
Go Jacob.
So, yeah,
Okay.
congrats on the debutant.
Love that. Imagine watching your boy get out there.
Oh, man.
But it'd be stressful as fuck if you coach him. You know, you'd almost be like,
it's true.
shit.
You'd rather be in the
just be on the grandstand.
you know,
'Cause otherwise, you got to be
suck it
like,
up.
I might have to hook my son.
Imagine Ivan Cleary, the pressure on him when he came back to the club.
Yeah, like, God, it must be a relief seeing it go so well and that your son's like a generational talent. But Jesus Christ, that would have been stressful.
And
Do you reckon Ivan's more impressed with his son's footy ability or his jaw?
Well, he knows where the
His
jaws
chin.
come from. The jaws come from him. It's
he
direct
might
from
be
Papa.
impressed with himself.
But you know, you look at it and you go, fucking hell.
His jaw's better than mine. Like, that's what you want. You want your son's jaw to be better than yours.
You do want to make the world a better place.
Yeah.
With your
Yeah,
seed.
you leave it a better place than you found it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And great jaws like that make the world a better place.
Well, I think so, especially Penrith area if you're a young, beautiful lady.
Correct.
Oh, man.
Well, man.
Oh, man, whatever you're into. But let's just say if there's a man that is the prince of an area, it's Nathan Cleary right now.
Definitely.
22 years old, millionaire.
Jaw
Probably-
from hell.
Probably thick dick. Just going to throw that in there.
Girth, for
Well,
sure.
if you're going off the jaw and the chin, I think
Girth for days.
it's girthy.
And we have already gone and explained that a lot of the older journos and that don't like thick dick throbbers, hot boys, six packs.
They don't. They get threatened by.
Yeah, absolutely. So
I get it though. I get why.
Well, but it's a sign of weakness, right? You got to embrace six packs and thick dicks.
If you're comfortable in your own skin.
Yeah.
but is
They're
it
not.
is it almost too good that he has thick dick, six pack, and thick jaw? You know, it's almost too like it. I would understand if it upset you. It upsets me slightly.
But you're able to, as a bigger man, be able to you're still able to embrace him as one of your own.
Oh, absolutely. But I do find times where I'm looking at him with deep hate in my heart.
Yeah, resentful.
Resentful and finding reasons to hate him, like saying, that's so arrogant. Why'd you celebrate that try too hard?
Yeah.
That's what I do sometimes when I see that
You look
draw.
like a fuckwit. But,
Yeah.
you know.
Like, you're these young guys, you're enjoying your life, you've literally done nothing wrong, you've just scored a bunch of tries. And then I think, how dare you celebrate so hard?
Yeah, you're an arrogant piece of shit.
Exactly.
You look too happy.
And has nothing to do with a thick dick, six pack, and thick jaw.
No. Probably tight buns as well, if I'm being
Very
honest.
tight buns. Did you see him dancing?
Bruh.
See him dancing on
The
TikTok?
tightest.
Titus.
What you know what people like outraged about that TikTok video? I'm like, boys, you're 22 years old. Bunch of lovely young ladies are coming over to do a bit of dancing. Well, you're not going to get up and fucking shake those hips?
100%, yeah. 100%.
And you're single?
There's no way he's going to deny that from going onto the internet because it's like a honeypot.
Of course you TikTok that dance.
Yeah, he did get honeypot. He got honey-dicked. He got seduced into a TikToking.
True, but I think...
But knowing that he himself was putting a honeypot out there.
Oh, okay. So you're working on a level I'm not on yet.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the jealousy is clouding my judgment.
Yeah, I think so, mate.
a little bit.
But yeah, when you talk about just dominating an era, like think about it. He is the king. Like he has taken that club to this undisputed heights. Could you imagine him
If they
walking?
win,
Mate,
He's the Joey of Penrith, pretty much, if they win.
And he's so young still.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's crazy. And like we've been, over the years
imagine being the Joey of
hard on
Penrith.
him. But the Joey of Western Sydney,
fucking
like you're
oath.
just... He's so young and he's ripping. And people are actually like talking about him as like how complete he is as a player, defensively, attacking ways. That like he's actually obviously got a long way to go, but like the fact that he's doing what he's doing so early.
If he stays exactly the way he is right now, he'll still be one of the best halfbacks for the last X amount of years. Do you know what I mean?
And close, like they're saying if he's winning comps and doing this, like could be one of the all-timers or comfortably an all-timer.
Like he's just, it's honestly, every single game you're sitting there going, is he getting better? Because it's just fucking crazy. It's crazy.
He is getting better.
And it's crazy to think, like 2 years ago, people were fucking annihilating him. Like, he's a bum, he's overpaid, he's this, that.
We weren't doing that anyway. We weren't doing that. No. We were keeping our power.
No. All we were saying was, and fair enough, we need to win Shields.
You did, though. You did win Shields.
Yeah, and then we laid off him. And then we lost. And we were right back on.
No, I more mean like, that he was ridden that 2018 year, I think it was.
People forget how young he was.
Yeah,
then.
I know. And I just kept saying to people,
Well, no, we didn't get
I kept saying to people, "Oi, he's so young. Like he's got a young squad. He's a young half. Like he's got 10 years to go or 15 years to go even. And you want him to be Joey out the box. Like you're not Joey. No one's Joey out the box. It's fucking Joey.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyway,
He's having a good crack though.
Fucking, he's having a real, like, if he wins a premiership this year and then wins another maybe 2 or 3, you absolutely could consider it. And then he wins like 3 or 4 more Origins. Like, fuck. Look, there he's there on the
a couple
fucking
of
TV.
Dally M's in.
Can you imagine that jaw?
Look at that
Jaw is
Imagine
that
that
jaw into the chin. Fuck.
incredible.
Yeah,
He works it out. He has to.
Just hangs a thing off his.
There are some things you can get. I've seen him like on YouTube as you chew like
Do
a ball of rubber.
you have a beard because you're trying to hide the fact that you?
Actually look. I am certainly working on the chin, and I'm waiting to reveal it. Like so, I'm.
Is that why you know that there? Have you been doing chin weights?
Yeah, chin weight. So you chew on this thing, right, and it gets your chin going. And so right now I've grown this as like a curtain, and then one day I'm just gonna Veet moose my face and just let it all go. And then you're like, holy shit, have a crack, have a look at that jaw, and it'll be revealed. You know what I mean?
Look, I'm going to say something. I don't mean to offend you, and I'm just trying to get your opinion on this.
Don't
but
you come at me right now.
I'm not. But is the beard the push-up bra for men?
As in, so like trying to enhance the chin that isn't there? Yes, 100%.
Okay.
But I'm happy to report my chin is fine, but I do know people who are certainly...
But we can't see it.
Nah, but trust me, bro.
Have you got any-
listen, is my chin good? No.
Can
But
you
is it
can we
like- I mean, it's not
can you
Nathan
send me a
Cleary.
picture so that we can put it up on this episode?
Yeah, I'll send you a photo of my chin. I'm obviously going to have to go and Photoshop some shit, but like,
I haven't seen you without a beard in a while, actually.
I didn't have a beard until about 24 months ago.
Yeah, 2 years. It's a
Yeah,
while.
2 years, but my chin hasn't gone. Well, actually, it's probably getting a bit thicker down here, like a
Yeah,
double
mine was
chin.
getting bad for
You know
a
what
bit
I
there.
mean? That's more what it's for, to be honest, punters and dribblers. Hide the double chin.
How do you feel that you are partly responsible for the demasculination of beards?
Are you trying to tell me, as a man who couldn't grow a beard if he was trying for decades, that a beard is not masculine?
No, it used to be,
Oh.
but people that aren't necessarily masculine now have beards. I'm not saying you are like that.
No, I mean,
I'm
I
just
don't
saying.
believe that. Listen, are you saying that I may be contributing to
I can't grow a beard.
Have you ever grown a goatee?
You could grow a dope
Which you
goatee,
could
dude.
grow.
I could grow one. It'd be.
I would
I
like
mean,
to
I'm
see
already
you with
fucking
a
ugly as
goatee.
fuck. But
like a Robert Whittaker.
But have
sort
you
of
ever
goatee.
tried to grow?
I haven't tried to because it's fucking embarrassing.
Bro,
but I
you
could.
should have a go.
If Manly win on Friday, would you grow a goatee?
Nah, because it's fucking. Well, what are you gonna do then?
Oh, you tell me.
Oh, fuck it.
He'd shave his beard off.
Would you shave your beard off?
Yeah, that's fair. All right, so you've got to like grow it for a
But
while.
how
You
long
can't,
though?
like-
How long though?
A month.
No, fuck, no way, no
I'll
way.
shave this fucker off. I hate it, dude. I hate
But
looking
like,
this.
Manly are flying like Broncos and skylights. Yeah, come on, man.
Bro, you tried to tell me.
Beard bag.
You went through the fucking. You went through the side.
Backfired.
Saying it was the best forward pack of all time.
Mate, look, I'm already struggling enough as it is when it comes to facial features. I don't need to add to this shit.
3 weeks then.
No, I couldn't do it, bro.
How long then?
Oh, that's so good.
You know what?
You wouldn't do it. You're not going to do it.
Because like, I can but I can only do it if you'd be willing to shave your beard. But like, if I do it for a week, but if I just do it for a week or whatever, it's not worth you shaving your beard. Do you know what I mean?
No, yeah, you'd have to do it for a month.
That's what I'm saying. So that I can't commit to it.
You can't commit to a month.
Look, I tell you what, you don't have to give me something else then. Something that could last
Well,
7
I'm not
days.
shaving my fucking beard off. If
No,
you're
that's why I just said give me something
Oh,
else.
sorry, right. As in, like, we'll work something else in.
I can't look past this goatee thing now. I don't think anything else is going to cut it.
You know what I'm secretly stoked about is that I am so not into shaving my beard. I'm like, fuck, man, they could shit the bed and then I've got to walk around looking like this swollen. Like I've been fucking like dead in a river for 4 days, taking on water. I'm like, oh yeah, Denon, you're a pussy, you grow a goatee. Fuck, no, don't worry about it, dude. No, it's a shit bet.
So it's not happening.
Well, not a month. Like, that's so long.
4 weeks.
No chance of that. No chance of that.
We'll have to work something out, though.
Because I hate facial hair as it is.
Okay.
I'm a clean skin kind of guy.
All right, well, we've got to work something out.
Look, I'll have a think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I could do it just as short as, just until the next episode, and I do the episode with a slight goatee. Because it only takes 3 or 4 days.
If Manly lose, I have to shave my fucking beard off.
But that's why
and
I'm
you're
saying
gonna
it
grow-
can't be done
Okay,
because
right,
because
of
you
that.
you can't. I don't think that is fair. I'm trying to be fucking fair here.
Okay, well, what about if we do something else for like a different punishment for us because he somehow escaped it. He's just trying to fucking get me in. So a different punishment for Eddie and I, but the loss for you is that you have to let that grow for like
4 weeks or 3 weeks.
No, there's
what
no
about-
weeks. There's
what
no
about-
weeks.
What about 2 weeks?
No chance.
Oh well. Okay.
You're asking a team that's coming. I'm coming 15th or 14th with Australia.
you
You're
were
flying.
talking about
Yeah. You
were just
got him
talking-
15
Yeah, but there's a
plus.
chasm between committing myself to humiliation and backing my team. There's a chasm between that.
Mate, he's been sucking off the devil for wins. You won't even fucking go and go.
Yeah, but that doesn't go on and go. Doesn't get the win. It's after a loss. Oh fuck.
Oh shit.
What are we on about?
We'll have a think about it. I'll have a think
we'll
about
see
it.
what we can work out.
I'm just trying to think. Look, I could maybe just go if the game's on Friday, but I've got an appearance on Saturday. I've got to shave before the appearance.
Why?
Because I fucking
Just tell them the truth. I lost a bet.
No way.
They'll know.
I'll have a think about it.
They'll see it.
We'll have a think about it because we've got to get some up with you because we're going to tell you up for you to do.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm going Eels. Eels 1 to 12.
Eels. Yeah, 1 to 12.
I don't know. As I said, Eels to win.
Eels to win. On to Dragons v the Storm. Harry Grant is out. Munster is out.
Is Cheese out as well? Is that?
Yes, from a shoulder charge.
Jesus Christ.
But look at their squad still.
Yeah, they're still good. Who's the 9?
So Pappenhausen's not back.
Kenny Bromwich playing 9.
Kenny Bromwich 9.
That's a big 9.
So Pappenhausen I think he's named in the extended squad. So he still is a chance.
Fuck. If he's not in, I mean, you think they still win.
I still think they win. Jerome Hughes has been so fucking good.
Yeah.
Kenny Bromwich at 9 though is surprising. Surely they got. Surely they've got a 9 in Rezzies. You know what I mean?
You would have thought so. You wouldn't have thought Kenny was third string 9.
Yeah. How good's Nico Hines been?
Dude, Nico's
Love Nico.
Yeah.
Nico's
he's a
good. Slipped through the Manly fingers. I think he was a fucking Manly junior, but or at least in the 20s.
Well, he's from
or
the
something.
Central Coast.
Nico's great. He's a great. What a player to be able to bring in. He's doing well. I love Justin Olam.
Oh yeah.
Justin
Because
Olam's a weapon.
You know who, as I spoke about a few weeks ago, and it's going to sound a bit outrageous, but I reckon Jack Bird might be a schmokey for the New South Wales side.
Jack Bird.
as a what? Back
Potentially
rower?
a centre.
Center?
Bench 14 minute.
I think
14.
I think Pap's probably the 14.
But that's what I'm saying. Smokey. I think that he played
There
fantastic.
need to be injuries.
He played fantastic last week. Or you could even go Trbojevic on the wing, Adokar on the other wing, Jack Bird, and Latrell.
Jack Bird over top. Oh, but then that's kind of the selection, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and you obviously just say you want Trbojevic and Adokar because of the catching ability or whatever. I wouldn't do that, but I'm just saying I think he's more in the mix than people give him credit for.
He's a good player. Like when I love this rugby league saying he's an out and out footballer.
Yeah.
He's a footballer, this kid.
He's a footballer's footballer.
He's a footballer's
Yeah,
footballer. He just
absolutely.
loves to play footy. Not that anyone else does who's playing it, but like he just loves to play footy. He's good wherever he plays.
Yep.
And he's solid. I get what you're saying. I don't think he will play Origin, but he's played before, hasn't he?
Yeah, and he
has
killed
already
it.
played,
He went really well.
He's that sort of.
I think we still
he's an
tagged you up,
Origin
though.
footballer. He's a
Did he
footballer.
come
This
off the
kid.
bench?
I think we still tied you up though.
Ah, fuck. I don't know about that. I think we actually won 3-0 from memory.
No,
He
I
was
think
man
we
of the
tied you up.
series, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think so. Possibly.
I don't recall that.
Maybe not.
Foggy.
But yeah, I'm going the Storm to get a win, 1-12.
Storm 13 plus.
Yeah, I don't mind Storm 13 plus.
13
Again,
plus.
I may have made some different bets on about even, but I can't
I've got another theory as well. Not theory, but I actually reckon Dragons are in a much stronger position as a club than people realise. And I spoke about it on the podcast earlier, but I want to get your thoughts. So think about this. They're currently sitting 6th.
Yep.
Now, they got Andrew McCulloch for peanuts because Broncos will be paying part of his contract. So their hooker right now is probably getting paid $300K max. That's being generous.
Mm-hmm.
They've got Corey Norman, who's going to probably take a pay cut next year if he wants to stay. Cam McInnes is obviously moving on. That was a huge part of their cap. And they're currently sitting 6th. They don't have any real, Matt Duffy is not going to get a massive contract. So I would argue they're sitting 6th and they probably got a mass. And Jack Bird, also part of his contract's being paid by the Broncos. So they're probably paying him about $400K. So I'd argue they're sitting 6th, and I reckon they've got a massive salary cap to get whoever they want.
They got some money to go after.
I think so, honestly. But maybe if they don't have it this year, they're going to have it at least next year. You know what I mean? And they're sitting 6th right now. It's not like they're at the bottom of the table and they've got a war chest or whatever.
They're doing all right.
Yeah, they're getting through it.
Who would you, if you were the Dragons and say they've got a bit of cash, what position would you be looking to fill?
Obviously the Corey Norman, if Ben Hunt, Corey Norman and McCulloch can continue, if they can stay at, the top 6 for the rest of the year, I'd probably sign Norman on a reduced rate. I would look to Duffy and see whether he's going to be consistent for the rest of the year because when he's on, he's fucking great. I would probably bolster the forward pack a little bit. At the moment, the bench, you've got Laurie. Is Laurie on the bench? Oh, sorry, you got Blake Laurie at the front row. I'd probably buy a front rower, a big front rower, because they don't really. They got Vaughan, who's starting to play some really good footy, but they don't have a big fucking front rower. You know what I mean? So Vaughan must be out injured. Yeah, Vaughan's out injured.
No, Vaughan's in there.
Oh yeah, sorry, 10. Apologies. I'd probably be looking to purchase my front. The forward pack would be my focus.
Yeah, a big, thick,
Big
motherfucker
boy,
up
and
front.
maybe a good bench player.
Put Blake Laurie back to his nut trucking.
Yeah, come on, get through some hard work.
Because chuck that nut.
They're 6. It's crazy to think.
Yeah. Is that, do you see them making the top 8?
I think so. I think they've got it. They're
They've
there.
got a team to.
Yeah, they got the. Well, that's the thing. At the start of the year, they didn't have the team to. We're all sitting here saying they'll be fighting for the spoon. The only changes they've had is they brought McCulloch and Maguire.
Yeah.
Maguire's been recent, but McCulloch has been such a good buy for them. I think he's been, you could argue even one of the buys of the season in this, just not compared to his performances, but compared to what people thought he would bring.
Yeah.
So I think the Dragons, if they can make the top 8 this year, I think they're going to be in a pretty strong spot to recruit. Thoughts?
Look, I'm not mad at that. Sometimes, and self-awareness is important in this day and age. I am blinded by what I can only describe as a deep and fucking powerful disdain for the Dragons and clubs that are merged. Is that born out of the fact that Manly was merged once upon a time? Maybe, but they aren't.
But they were.
But they're not. I hate the Dragons.
DMC.
I like some players in there, but I also think that it's a stain on the top 8 that they're in there. So, no.
How do you feel that they are currently above Manly?
I hate it But I'm also
For now.
like, we're coming for you, bro. Play us right now, huh? Play us now, Dragons. We'll fuck you up with the greatest
Well,
respect.
we get the win on Friday. They lose this game Sunday afternoon. We leapfrog them. On we go. I mean, I don't really have an opinion on the Dragons one way or another. I don't look at them and say to myself, "Holy shit, there's a premiership in that side in the next couple of years." I don't get that feeling.
Okay, fair enough.
They don't have the halves. They don't have like Dufty's alright, but like, is he an elite fullback? Do you know what I mean?
He can be at times.
Yeah, definitely. Look, in attack when he's on you, as you said. I do agree, though, with what you're saying in terms of like...
But they're in a
when
stronger
you're going through
position
their
than
roster,
people
Yeah, 100%.
believe.
Like, you get through a roster and what they're paying.
But isn't the thing with, if you want to win a comp, you have to have like an elite
Oh, absolutely.
half.
But they've probably got the cash. That's what I'm saying. They've probably got the cash to start, moving
They would
in
need
there.
to buy one
Yeah. I think that Ben Hunt
or
could
develop one.
Ben Hunt could. Well, Bud Sullivan, Jaden Sullivan, he's a gun, young Indigenous lad, gun half. So he could partner, Ben Hunt in the halves. They got some young good outside backs. So what I more mean, I'm not sitting here saying they're premiership threats, but all I'm saying is at the start of the year they were wooden spooners.
Yeah.
To everyone.
Well, they're in a better position
Yeah.
than they were. Yeah,
But I also think that as a club they're in a really strong position because they're going to have cash to buy. It's not like
Dogs who are fucked.
yeah, or even like the Tigers when they were finishing ninth because they were fucked in their cap.
Yeah.
So like they couldn't go out and progress. They had Reynolds and they had Russell Packer and you know what I mean. And so like you look at the Dragons and it's like let's say they do come ninth. It's like well they still have now they've got a bunch of cash to progress.
Yeah.
What is interesting though this next game? Oh, so we're going Storm.
yeah.
Or
Yeah,
Storm.
yeah, yeah.
Storm 10 plus.
Titans are in the top 8 and they're $7, and the Panthers are $1.10.
Yeah.
That's outrageous, and it's an away game for Panthers. Oh, it's an away game for both, but it's
Both,
Queensland.
It's fucking outrageous.
That is crazy.
It's just a nod to. I mean, look, it's a couple of things, I guess. The Titans have been on a bit of a slide, even though they got to win over the Tigers. Who hasn't? But the Panthers are also just so good. Like they're just so good. All their players are in form, and there doesn't seem to be like a team that's really. The Storm pushed them, and that's the fucking Storm. But
Yep.
like everyone else just seems to be going.
That
getting
side
handed.
is fucking stacked.
Oh my god.
But they find ways to win.
Yeah.
Like it's not like they go out and blow teams off the park every game, but they'll win any way they have to.
Yep. You know what's crazy is they actually, as it stands, only have one current Origin player and one current Australian. Oh, not even. They don't have a single Australian representative in their side.
Fuck. It's great. I love when you see, just like in any season, when you know who the best team is and you can go through a lineup like that and just see just throbbers galore and you're just like, look at them all. They're just all fucking intimidating alphas from fucking 1 to 17.
But don't you think that's shocking? They don't have a single Australian rep currently. Like Cleary most likely will get picked this year, but they don't have a single Australian rep in that side.
Not yet.
But okay, so
I also don't think you'd pick many of them in the Australian side,
that's
though,
true.
right? Like, in terms of if you go, let's say Luai, who's one of the form players in the comp, Munster still probably is chosen ahead of him.
that's what I'm saying
Yeah.
though. That's what's so shocking
They've
is
got
that
some great international players.
they've got Fisher Harris, who is obviously Kiwi, killing it. He's a fucking absolute cannonball. You've got
Kick out Fijian.
kick out Fijian, but you've got Isaiah Yeo. He probably he wouldn't make the Australian side, I'd say.
No.
He may make New South Wales, but I think that's more due to his connection. Then you've got Liam Martin, who wouldn't make a. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
when you compare it to some of the other teams that are at the top, you're like fucking Origin players everywhere. So I just think it's
very
really interesting.
nicely balanced.
Oh mate, unbelievable. I'd love to research to go into how did they do it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How did the Penrith Panthers 2 years ago didn't make the 8, I don't think, or they squeezed into it, go from that into a single year going into unbeatable? Because people forget at the start of last year, everyone's like, I don't know if they'll even make the 8. And they just fucking towed everyone up.
Just ripping.
Ripping in and tearing.
And you've got Matt Burton, who wasn't even in the fucking side at the start of the year, and you bring him in and now he's like a form player in the comp.
How many of their 17 or starting 13 have they nurtured
pretty
from
much
through the juniors all the way up?
I mean, I think nearly all of them, which is maybe a key, other than Appy. I bet Appy started there.
Kickout was he there, or Kickout came from North Queensland, didn't he?
Yeah, Kiko came from North Queensland.
But essentially, right?
I think-
the go's still in Edwards. Is he a junior? Penrith.
So
Charlie
maybe
Staines.
that is the key, is the junior thing of like bringing them all together.
Yeah.
And they're
up
just
together.
ripening them up.
Yeah, yeah. I am going to go Panthers 15 plus.
Definitely.
Yep, 100%,
Big
mate.
time.
The Titans won't be able to hang with them. No
Titans need to
fucking
sort their
way.
defense out. Like their attack is great.
Yeah.
That defense though, like I'm surprised that they haven't worked it out yet. Because the fact that the last 4 games that they've gone, you know, they had a massive lead against the Rabbitohs, got caught. Massive lead against the Broncos. They had a massive lead against Broncos, got caught. You know what I mean? Like it's a trend. It's clearly an issue where they get these massive leads and they lose them. I think that's it, boys. That's it. That is it. Make sure to follow Hello Sport Podcast. Make sure to follow Hello Sport on Instagram, About Even on YouTube. Then you've got the Punters and Dribblers on Facebook. Anything else? Any other news coming up?
No, you nailed it.
You nailed it.
Nailed
That's
it.
Beers and Footy Friday. Looking forward to it.
Beers and Footy this Friday. Also, I will be at Caxton Street Hotel.
With
or
a
Caxton
goatee.
Hotel without a goatee. It'll be the next day.
Look for the man with a goatee.
Between 2 and 4 with Dral Yaoyi for 2 hours. And then I'm flying back to Sydney. So if you want to come see us, come see us. I want to shake your hand, say thank you so much for all the support. Make sure to grab a case of Bloke in a Bar for Magic Round. There is no beer better to watch the footy. And I'll go and fuck myself. Thank you.